Hello, and welcome everyone to the third episode of Jinkies, Junkies, the show where it is our goal to slog through every Scooby-Doo show, movie, crossover, and beyond. I am your host, Colin, and with me today is my co-host, Sam.
Hello!
That's Sam. Also, we are joined by a special guest today, a third person. We've got Wally here with us.
Hello! I don't have a cool thing to say.
It's all good. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, what is your history with Scooby-Doo? What is your qualifications for being here?
Oh,
sir?
yeah.
Exactly.
I am an absolute professional. If you asked me this question 20 years ago, boy, would I know everything about Scooby-Doo.
Okay. What's your first Scooby-Doo memory?
Actually, it was the blue guy. Whose name I've already forgotten, but boy, that was burned into the back of my brain.
Well, we'll cover him later.
Hell yeah. That's really good.
Honestly, though, like, if you were a huge Scooby-Doo fan as a kid, you're probably actually more qualified to be here than I am. Because I actually don't even like Scooby-Doo that much. I just did this because Colin wanted to, and it sounded fun.
I think that's better. I think that's a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
I don't know if I actually said that in any of our past episodes.
No,
but, like, I am
not at all.
I'm like, I don't hate Scooby-Doo, but I would say my default position up until now has been like slightly against it. Actually,
So we've got a lot of work here.
no, it's more like even as a kid, I was just like, okay, it's a mystery show, but like all the mysteries are either super easy or literally impossible. So what's the point?
Wow.
I think now as an adult I can appreciate it more because it's just like a goofy show with like a mystery theme, and like that's fine.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're a child, it's like, oh, it's all about figuring it out, and then they either give you no clues or they give you one clue. Then it's just like, oh, this is stupid.
Yeah, I don't think we ever actually like talked about our history with Scooby-Doo on the previous episodes.
Better late than never. Fuck it.
I was never quite so critical. I was so happy to see just the whole gang on my screen. It was never about like oh, I gotta find out what happens. I'm just like, wow, there's Scooby, he's doing it.
Yeah, I think
Scooby
I was
does
the same. He do. I was the same as a kid. The thing was, I didn't have like Cartoon Network or any channels that played Scooby-Doo. So I just had one VHS tape with like a few Scooby-Doo episodes on it. Huh. So there's a few Scooby-Doo episodes that I am pretty familiar, like they're burned into the back of my brain because I rewatched them a million times as a kid. But then like there's other ones where I'm like, holy shit, I've know nothing about this. Like on our previous episode, Hassel in the Castle I watched a million times. Which is the one with the ghost.
Okay.
But I'd never seen the Minor 49er one. So, yeah, it's wild.
Interesting. So I'm like the middle of the road then, kinda. Like I had exposure to like all of Scooby-Doo, but I probably only ever saw each episode like once.
Mm-hmm. Perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
I think also Zombie Island scared me as a kid.
That's fair.
Like it legit scared me because it's like, oh shit, the monsters are real.
They've entered the third dimension. They're real.
No, I mean like you've seen Zombie Island, right?
Is that the live action movie or is that something else?
No, that was like the first. That was the revival in the late '90s, I believe.
Oh.
It was a movie, a made-for-TV movie, but there hadn't been, like, Scooby-Doo on air for, like, 10 years at that point.
Oh, got it.
And so, like, they wanted to do justice to it and bring it back in a big way. And it was Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. where the zombies were actually zombies. There weren't guys in masks.
Huh.
They were in a Louisiana bog with zombies.
That's pretty wild.
And cat people.
I see the cat people. Yeah, there they are.
Yeah.
Huh.
We'll get to that in like a few years on the podcast, you know?
Yeah.
That's way off. We gotta slog through some shit before we get to that.
Sure.
And what shit are we slogging through today, Colin?
Oh, fuck. Okay. I wish I would have wrote down the episode name.
It's
didn't
episode
either.
5, Decoy for a Dognapper.
There's actually one thing I wanted to cover before we get into the episode, though. So last episode, there was a bit where Shaggy had mentioned, or the ghost and Hassel in the Castle had said, "Now you will pay." And Shaggy said, "I've got 4 bits." And holds up 4 coins. I looked up bits, just in general, as a term, and 2 bits equals 25 cents.
Okay.
Just in general, apparently.
Okay.
Shaggy held up 4 coins.
Uh-huh.
He had 50 cents.
Uh-huh.
What coins did Shaggy have in his hand?
Oh. You can't. Wait, what? How? How is 2 bits 25 cents?
It's just a term. 2 bits is 25 cents.
Wait, a bit is not actually a coin? Like an old coin or something?
I don't think so.
Oh.
At least not from what I discovered.
Oh.
I just assumed that bits was like some kind of pirate coin because they were in a pirate castle, so I thought Shaggy just found them. But that was just a lot of assumptions on my part.
So
So Shaggy somehow was holding 4 American coins that totaled to 50 cents.
Yep. Yeah, a bit is
That were all the
12
same
and a half
size.
cents.
Huh.
A bit is 12 and a half cents and hasn't been like a thing since the late 1700s.
Okay. I'm gonna assume...
Maybe he found him in the pirate castle.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume my pirate castle theory is correct. Either
Yeah.
that, or we just uncovered still more Shaggy lore, as we always do.
I also, ahead of this episode, I had a question, which, just in general, because we wondered where this takes place previously. Where's Coolsville? They haven't referred to it as Coolsville yet, but I wanted to know where Coolsville is located.
All right.
And I looked it up. I found a few different definitions, or a few different locations, or I should say 2. I found 2 locations that it is possibly in. One of them is Southern California,
Okay.
which makes sense with some of like it kind of makes sense in some ways, and sometimes it doesn't.
They do go to the beach at night a lot, a popular SoCal activity.
Exactly, yes. But I guess this is tied specifically to a Scooby-Doo movie, so I guess we'll get to that later. But in a 2009 live-action, made-for-TV movie, Coolsville is in Erie County, Ohio.
Oh.
Northwest. It's in Northwest Ohio, approximately 1 hour southeast of Toledo, and approximately 1 hour west of Cleveland.
Oh,
God.
shit. Oh, we can go there.
We could all go there.
We can all go to Coolsville.
We could go to Coolsville. Yeah, we could go there.
Oh, shit, a very special episode.
That's going to be a lot later, though, because that movie came out in 2009, so
Oof.
we've got a few episodes to go through.
Wow.
So,
Anyways.
all right, we have to keep that in mind as we watch the future episodes. They are either in California or Ohio, and we have to like pick up on clues as to which one it could be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
Except for this upcoming episode is going to make it very difficult to figure. Well, not very difficult, but it's going to be very strange.
Where do they go
Yeah.
to the beach if they're in Ohio?
Like Lake Erie.
They keep having parties and Lake Erie in the dead of night. Oh, God. These kids are freaks.
Spooky?
It sure is.
I don't think the beach was that as rocky as, like, Lake Erie's beach would be, though. It's too much sand there.
No, that's my headcanon now. That's what I'm gonna believe.
Also makes sense because Erie and, spooky
Oh.
and, yeah.
The spooky
there we
lake.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
We've done it.
All right.
We figured it out.
Are we ready to get started with today's episode?
Oh, I am. Yes.
Okay, so Colin, you mentioned that you had forgotten that this episode was titled Decoy for a Dognapper.
Correct.
I don't blame you, because this episode has, like, half of it has nothing to do with dog napping. So, understandable.
I think a strange amount has to do with the dog napping.
Yeah, it's always there. Like it really is always there, but there's so much other like imagery and other events. So many other things occur that like it's really easy to forget that that's even part of it.
Yeah, there's a lot layered on top of the dog napping.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So, how do we start, gang?
It starts in the most bizarre fucking way. It is day.
That's
It
true.
is
That was very
daytime.
unsettling. Yeah.
It is daytime in the suburbs. I have it written here. It feels wrong.
It does. It feels like midsummer.
Yeah.
It's just horror in plain sunlight.
It also brings up the question, where specifically in town do they live? Because they were walking... Wally, this isn't going to make as much sense to you, but in the first episode, What a Night for a Night, they were walking in the middle of nowhere home.
Like through a woods.
Through woods.
They were at the movies and they were walking home through the woods.
okay.
But
now they're
yeah,
walking...
but now apparently they live in the suburbs, where that would imply that they lived in like a secluded log cabin or something.
Also, wait, I didn't realize this. Scooby's alone.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, at the beginning of the episode, he's just walking around?
Yeah, Shaggy's nowhere to be seen.
He's gone rogue.
What, Colin, you don't just ever let your dogs loose in the suburbs for fun?
I guess my dog can't talk, so...
That's
You know,
true.
maybe- there's
I would
different
feel
rules.
a lot safer. Yeah, if my dog was sentient and he was like, I'm going to go over there, I'd go, oh yeah, but have a great time.
I'm not stopping you. We're not having this fight again.
God, dude, you don't have to tell me every time, okay? I know you have the keys, it's fine.
Just do it, yeah. Yes, the keys. I also have written here, Scooby is horny and fails at being suave.
Yes. Because Scooby sees a poodle walking with a fancy lady, and he tries to get that... I was gonna try make a pun of poodle pussy, but that would just be pussy, so... Pussy. He tries to get that pussy.
Poodlesy? Oh, I hate this.
Scooby tries to hit that pudussy, and he fails horribly. And then the poodle gets dog napped.
Also here, so in his attempt to be suave, Scooby is leaning against a pole and says, "Rello." To which apparently this is a normal thing because the lady walking the dog does not pay him any mind. I'm assuming.
Do any of the other dogs in this episode talk ever? I don't
No,
remember.
they just bark.
Yeah.
Just barking. So I guess there is like a select few of dogs that can talk, but that is not enough to shock people.
It's
just...
rare, but not rare enough to be unheard of.
Yeah. Well, he lives there, right? Like in that town, so...
Oh, that's true.
They have to have been exposed.
He could have tried to hit on this poodle before.
I thought you were going to say
Might
the
be a
old
normal
lady.
thing.
The old lady is not even batting an eye. Like Scoob was coming onto her hard last week.
We made a mistake in our assumption. He was not after the dog. The dog owner.
Yeah, can we trace eye contact? Like,
we'll have to get the play-by-play on that later.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, the poodle gets dog napped, and so Scooby runs off to his friends to try and get their help. But apparently, Scooby was running all day. Because, as we said, it was sunlight when this episode started, and after Scooby runs off to meet up with everybody else, they're on the beach at night again.
The dead of night.
Sorry, before we go on to that.
Oh god, okay.
Sorry, I have a little bit more. First off, Scooby stands idly by while she gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
He does nothing to try to help. Which is great.
Yeah.
Very much a Scooby thing. I have a picture to share with you.
Oh, okay.
So, I have a picture of the Dognapper, because he's briefly seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we haven't talked about the actual villain yet. But I want to ask you, what's more scary, the Dognapper here, or the actual villain? I've posted it in Josie Pussycat.
Oh.
Oh, he's the green guy.
Yeah. He's just like, he's got a trench coat and he's dark green.
I don't like how well the green conforms to his face. It doesn't feel like it's like a mask. Maybe he painted himself this way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a little bit more off-putting.
It's like a Blue Man Group member.
Green guy.
Yeah, I mean obviously he's holding a dog, but I will say just this outfit reads more as Dognapper to me.
Yeah.
Than the actual outfit. He's just got like a trench coat here. Yeah.
Something about his actual, like his final reveal outfit doesn't strike any fear into me at all. Something about it, I'm not off-put. I'm like, that's just some guy. I think I could beat him up.
I think that just means you're not racist.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
there's some foreshadowing for you.
Also, should be specified, this Dognapper is a henchman.
Ooh, okay.
This is the henchman.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
that's not the villain.
Right, I mean, he's associated with the villain, but,
Okay,
okay.
Alright. So, we good to go?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Alright. Scooby runs to get help, runs all day, he meets them on the beach at night.
Which beach is it?
Lake Erie, apparently.
Oh, the stinky shores of Lake Erie.
So this beach is the same beach that the Cutler episode was at.
Yeah.
Which, if they are in Lake Erie, that implies that a bunch of yachts were kidnapped at Lake Erie.
Yeah.
It's got a mini-sub in Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, an island, a ghost island.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they got those.
Yeah, that's the castle. The hassle in the castle. So I have written here, Scooby is barking from a distance. Fred says without looking, he sure is in a hurry.
So
yeah.
So Scooby, he can speak dog, right? Like he talks to dog. Is maybe Fred also bilingual?
Oh
my gosh. That's something I never considered.
Yeah.
That is the only way that line makes sense if you can't see Scooby.
What do you think Scooby was saying then?
I think, well, he's probably just like, help, help, help.
I'm in a hurry.
Yeah. Wow, he's in a hurry.
He's in a hurry.
All right, add that to the Fred lore. There we go.
Yeah.
Fred's bilingual in dog speak.
So, Wally, do you remember what happens next?
I do. So I wrote down, it was something that was a little strange to me. So he runs up. I don't remember exactly what's said, but Scoob is just like, oh, here, let's turn on the radio. This will tell you all about it. And I thought that was really weird. Like, how did he know that? And he turned it right on, and they're talking immediately about the problem.
I didn't think about that at all, but you're right. Like, Scooby just assumed this would be like 9/11. We're just like,
this is the worst thing that's ever happened in this town.
Yeah, he's just like, just turn it on, any station, it doesn't matter.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to them.
Wow.
And I guess he was right. This is Roosevelt's 9/11 because it works.
Holy shit.
So yeah, the radio tells them that there's a Dognapper going around taking dogs.
Yeah, then I think someone on the radio guy says something about Buckmasters.
Mm-hmm.
And putting out like some sort of ransom or something on the guy who's kidnapping or dognapping.
Yeah.
And so Fred's just like, we got a mystery, we're going to Buckmasters, who I thought initially I thought he said Buttmasters, which I think is funnier.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to Buckmasters, and man, first off, green outfit. Second off, tree trunk of a body. Spindly arms.
Yeah.
Little tiny arms. It's great.
The ideal male form.
Mm-hmm.
The master of bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So he spends a long-ass time explaining all the dog-napping crimes to them, which naturally means that Scooby gets bored and fucks off. In this case, Scooby decides to imitate the dogs that Buck is talking about who have been kidnapped. Which, I mean, given what we've covered so far, is equivalent to mocking 9/11 victims the day after it happened. So, very confused about Scooby's morals here.
Oh,
he's a dog. He doesn't have a soul.
He minds jumping out of a window. Oh.
So it should be specified that the dogs that have been kidnapped are ones that take place in dog shows. Like, they're set up to be in the upcoming dog show. And Buckmasters had his dog kidnapped previously.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he's put out like a call to action, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the term would be.
A bounty.
Yeah, he put out a bounty on the head of this Dognapper. They're gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Dead or alive. It's easier dead.
The team
Well,
chooses
gang?
dead, yeah.
Well, gang, looks like we got some good blood money coming our way. Let's go to the malt shop and regroup.
So also, on a more serious note, I don't know, but I guess, but I did find it funny that reading some of the descriptions on how they designed Scooby. So Scooby is a Great Dane who is described as like the least dog show dog possible. like intentionally, they got notes on what a dog show Great Dane looks like, and did the opposite.
Okay.
So they're supposed, like, Great Danes are supposed to have like strong jaws and like a strong form, and Scooby kind of stands kind of bow-legged and has like a weak jawline and whatnot. So he is like the opposite of a show dog.
Okay.
This is not what peak physical performance looks like.
Exactly. So I think it's kind of funny, like, it's cool that they like specifically have an episode about show dogs.
Yeah.
Where he is the opposite of a show dog.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Wow, you've really done your homework. You've like read the show Bible.
Not entirely, but I have looked up a few things here and there that,
All right.
might sprinkle in here and there.
Interesting little factoid.
Mm-hmm. So do you remember what the plan is?
Oh, I don't think I do.
I don't remember the full plan, but they go to the back of the mystery machine. They're all sitting in the back, which is a rare occurrence, and they're surrounded by all kinds of tech, which is also not usually back there. So that was interesting. So I don't remember the whole plan, but because they have all this tech, they also have a tracking device that they're going to, I guess, use to like plant on the Dognapper. And so in order to do that, they need a decoy to call the Dognapper out. And so Shaggy and Scooby are going propose to be the decoy. But of course Scooby refuses and he needs a Scooby snack, but then something else happens.
Oh.
What happens, Colin?
Shaggy swoops in. He pulls a Scooby and steals Scooby's Scooby snack.
And this is the first time in the show, and implied through to be like the first time ever that Shaggy has eaten a Scooby snack in his life. Congratulations.
Exactly. Congratulations. Yeah.
A momentous day.
How many people here have eaten a dog or just an animal treat in general? Unprompted. I have. I totally.
Been a very long time.
Okay.
I think I have like
As a
once
kid.
when I was a child. I don't really remember. Do you remember what it tasted like, Wally?
Yeah, actually. So I remember the brand and everything. It was me and a brother of mine, and we always had dogs at the house, and we had a box of Bill Jack dog biscuits. They're like the crunchy kind of like crackery kind, and for me and my brother, we just had this thing where we were super bored. There was no internet, and it would just be like, "Hey, I dare you to eat this thing in the house." And so we had this dare going back and forth, and we kept like increasing it. Like, well, if you eat 2, I'll eat, and like we just kept going with it. And then eventually, here we are standing face to face, each holding like a handful of dog biscuits, like grinning, like I'm about to make this this idiot eat some dog biscuits, and so we both end up like at least taking like a bite of one out of curiosity, and he starts. So he takes a corner off of the round corner off of the bone shape, and I'm absolutely destroyed. I'm laughing so hard I cannot believe that my brother has been has eaten a dog treat in front of me, and so I see his face go from like, oh God, what am I about to do, to like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then since I see that he's not like in any pain, it hasn't harmed him, I'm like, well, now I have to win. Now I'm gonna try to eat more dog biscuit than he can. So I take like a giant bite, and this is my first taste of the biscuit, and it had almost no flavor with like a little bit of like garlic. It was just like a saltine cracker without any salt, and then like a hint of garlic. It was totally fine, but they were really, really dry. And I think I ate like 3 or 4 of them. I think my brother ate 1. I just really wanted to show him that I was stronger.
There you go.
Well,
You're the superior brother.
I'm pretty sure most of them are safe to eat. It's just that like, yeah, they obviously aren't designed for people, so they just don't taste great.
Yeah, they're not very palatable. Yeah.
Yeah. But unlike you, who just thought it was kind of normal and dry, Shaggy fucking loves it.
Oh yeah, he's like, it's not bad. He also total Scooby snacks eaten 9.
Okay.
Brings it up to 9.
Wow.
Are you gonna keep separate tallies for Shaggy and Scooby?
I already have. I have an Excel document here.
Good job.
And
I
I
would
have
expect
Shaggy
nothing
and
less.
Scooby specifically separated.
Are you tracking?
So I guess
Are you tracking maximum per episode and average per episode as well?
I am not. Oh my gosh.
We
are checking. We are basing like how questionable, not questionable, but like how willing Scooby is to break his morals depending on the number
Sure.
of Scooby snacks.
Right.
So, as of right now, the most Scooby snacks he has demanded for an activity is 3.
Okay.
And that is to look in the next room.
Okay. Right, so not so bad. It's like scary,
Exactly.
but it's like not so bad. Right.
Yes, but in this case, it is 1 Scooby snack to get dog napped.
Okay.
I would argue Scooby's a dumb fuck.
It's just an idiot. Yeah.
I would... That is, like, very different.
Oh.
Yeah, this plan is a lot more directly dangerous and risky than looking in the next room.
Yeah. And also should be noted that Scooby does get a Scooby snack here as well.
Oh, okay.
So, 1 for Shaggy, 1 for Scooby. Scooby has 9, Shaggy has 1.
Wow.
All right.
So to specify here, so the plan is that... So, in the previous scene, Buttmasters specifically said that one of the prize-winning dog owners, I can't remember his full name, but I have Bob written here, so his name is Bob.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob takes his dog down Beach Boulevard every night. So he takes his dog at night,
To
a
Lake
very
Erie.
specific time. Yes, yeah. In a very specific place. Which is wild because there's dog napping going on. There's been 3 dogs kidnapped in the past 3 days.
Right.
Would you not change up your schedule?
It's been all over the news.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been on every station.
So the thing was, they called up Bob and were like, hey, this thing's going on. We got a plan. Can we take your place on Beach Boulevard? Which is a weird thing to ask.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can I take your regular route?
Yeah.
So maybe Bob took his dog on a different route this time? Or, I don't know.
He won't be stopped.
Maybe he should have?
Right.
Because it's a predictable pattern.
Yeah.
Like, if you were being watched, like,
Well,
you know...
that's also... Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's... I guess if he's being watched. I was gonna say, that's also assuming that the Dognapper also has, like, CIA-level surveillance and knows everything about everyone. Which might be
then again,
a little too much to assume for a Dognapper in 1969.
You say that, but these teenagers in 1969 have CIA-level technology. They have a tracking device.
That's true.
They have, as they say, a tiny transmitter, which, you know, it's tiny for 1969. It's like 2 inches in diameter. Yeah. But, like, you know, so they're going to shove that in Scooby's collar and try to pretend that he's the dog.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have this picture I'm going to send to you again. Is that not just Scooby but in Chad form?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Describe the picture, please.
I mean, it's Shaggy holding a photo that's labeled champion, and it's a headshot of a Great Dane. It honestly, it just looks like Scooby with a shave. It doesn't really look different from him at all.
Scooby with a shave. He just looks a little smug. That's really it. That's like the big difference here.
Well, I mean, that means he's a perfect decoy, because he does look just like the winning dog. So Shaggy and Scooby go for the walk. And Scooby sees yet another girl dog that he wants to fuck so bad. I don't remember what breed this one. It was some tiny thing. And Shaggy's like, no, man, stick to the plan.
It also should be specified that this dog is horny for Scooby.
Oh,
it's the first time. That's right.
Yeah. But Scooby, he holds his own, and he's like, all right, I got to do this for the mission. I got to ignore her.
Right.
Yeah, and she's like more persistent than he is.
She's barking.
Yeah,
she's got hearts in her eyes.
She's like running up on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then it doesn't. when Scooby blows her off, doesn't she like take her revenge and like throw a bunch of trash on him? Is that what happens?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Well,
She like kicks a bucket of trash at them.
she will not be turned down.
Exactly. And Shaggy catches it all in his bowler hat, which he's wearing for a disguise. Which
She will not be rejected by the likes of fucking Scooby-Doo.
Right.
Look at that man and his cavernous chin. He's lucky she even looked at him.
I also have written here that it's a strong bowler hat.
It would have to be.
He catches a lot of trash in there.
Yeah.
There's like dirty carrots and shit in that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like Shaggy is like repulsed by the smell, but in the next scene is wearing the bowler hat.
Of course.
Again.
Yeah, yeah.
So he just dumped out the trash and he's like, "All right, this is fine.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all
must
good."
go on.
Mm-hmm. So, do you know? Do you remember how Scooby gets kidnapped?
No.
I just wrote Scooby gets kidnapped. This is a very action-packed
Oh,
episode.
there is a lot going on in this
Everything
one.
we've described so far has happened incredibly fast in real time.
It's like the first 5 minutes. We've spent a half hour describing 5 minutes.
We might have to speed up, actually, if we don't want to be here for like 3 hours tonight.
See, there's the mysterious man is in a van. The van idles and a bunch of smoke comes out, and then the Dognapper cuts the leash with a pair of scissors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have written here that did everyone in the 1960s have a pair of scissors?
Has
Yeah,
this
so
happened
remember-
before?
Shaggy pulled out a pair of scissors in a previous episode and cut the straws at the malt shop to keep Scooby from drinking his drink. It just seems like a weirdly, like, I think in another episode coming up it happens again, but
Yeah.
just scissors, you know?
Yeah, it was just common going out. You know, it's just like an accessory. Oh, we're going to town. Everybody.
Put it in your back pocket,
Yeah.
you know?
Back in the good old days
like your
when
wallet.
everyone had scissors, now you don't have room with all your smartphones and your Nokias, you damn kids.
Uh-huh.
You meddling kids?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Scooby gets kidnapped.
what does Shaggy do?
Well, Shaggy runs up to Charlie, who he addresses as Charlie, so I guess he knows him, and he says, "I need to borrow your scooter, man!" And I guess Charlie must know Shaggy, because he's like, "Okay!" And then Shaggy takes the scooter and chases after the Dognapper's truck.
So what's great about this is that Charlie doesn't directly give him permission to take it.
Yeah.
Doesn't he
Shaggy's just
state,
like-
he's just like, oh, I have this scooter. That's it. He just says he has it.
Yeah. Shaggy says, "I need to borrow a set of wheels. Is there anything around?" And Charlie's like, "Well, no, I guess I have my electric scooter." And Shaggy's just like, "Thanks, man!"
Good enough.
Just beelines out of there.
It's gone.
This
Yeah.
episode is so rapid fire that this character that apparently I guess Shaggy must know is just introduced and forgotten about within 1 second.
Yes.
Also, do you know who Charlie is or what his occupation is?
No.
No.
Why would I?
I'm pretty sure. Do
you
at a
know?
gas station.
How do you know?
He's at a gas station, so I would assume he's a gas station attendant.
Uh-huh.
He was at a gas station with a vehicle.
Yeah.
He could have been.
Well, he was
filling
in
up
a
on
uniform.
gas.
He was in a jumpsuit. He looked like a military man, actually.
Who fucking
Like,
knows?
It would be wild if he was, like, actually in the military.
I don't think the people writing the show know who Charlie is. I think they just spawned a person to have a bike be there.
He's either in, like, a jumpsuit, like a mechanic jumpsuit, or he's in, like, a jumpsuit that... Because he has, like, the hat. He has the hat that, like, you know, people who are in the military but not in combat wear,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
My fucking
It's
god.
it's almost like the sailor hat, but it's green, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look this up. This is something I have to come back with next week.
Colin, Charlie is never showing up again. This is a fruitless effort.
I want to know. I want to know who Charlie is. I want to know where he's from. I want to know his address.
I bet you anything Charlie is not even on the Scooby-Doo wiki. I'll look right now.
I have it up. I can look it up.
At the very least, Google knows who he is. And I'm looking at him, and is this the third character this episode who is predominantly a green guy? What is with this town?
Just a very green town.
They have like one place where you can buy clothes, and they just only have green fabric.
That's where Shaggy shops for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The only Charlie I can find is Charlie the robot.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Who's another enemy coming up.
So, I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure Charlie is not on the Scooby-Doo wiki.
I will find him sometime.
Okay, well, look into that later. Alright, so Shaggy is on the chase, driving behind the truck, when suddenly he hears stereotypical Native American chanting.
I found it! He is a gas station attendant.
Oh my fucking god.
I got it!
Hell yeah. Yeah, the hat makes sense now.
I think he's only in this episode. This is the only time he ever shows up.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charlie. Thank you for your service. Be gone.
Be gone forever. Sorry, continue?
Yeah, so, Shaggy's chasing after this Dognapper, and all of a sudden he hears this Native American chanting, and he looks over, and he sees a ghost of a Native American on a horse. And he says, "It's Geronimo!"
He immediately knows who it is. Immediately.
Yeah.
I have written here, they end up in a New Mexico-esque desert. How far did they drive, and where the fuck do they live?
Where are they? Where are they in Ohio right now?
Oh. Yeah, we don't have the desert. We do have the Native American backstory. We've got that here, but
so I am to believe that this is the Southern California.
That feels right.
Location.
Yeah. If you can get to the desert, yeah.
Yeah. Even with, like, a bit of driving. Because we don't know how long they were driving. It's ridiculous that they were driving for that long.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, I didn't write this down, but I'm pretty sure when we all watched this episode together, and there was just suddenly a native on a horse, like, we all, like, lost our minds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because
it's out of nowhere.
It's so out of nowhere.
It's very realistically drawn.
Yeah.
And just very stereotypically, like, he's doing the... I'm not gonna make the sound, but,
yeah.
like, he's doing the stereotypical, like... Yeah. And then Shaggy wrecks Charlie's motor scooter with no remorse.
I mean, to be fair to Shaggy, if all of a sudden just a Native American ghost showed up out of nowhere when I was dealing with something completely different that was also very stressful, like, I would freak out and destroy something too, I'm sure.
That's fair. That is fair. Also, they are using the equipment in the back of the mystery machine.
Mm-hmm.
There is, like, a radar detecting device. So they are tracking Scooby's collar during this.
Yeah.
Which, there's also, like, a weird, like, little antenna on top of the mystery machine. This time around, I think we're gonna have to keep a lookout to see if this actually persists or shows up again. This is the only time I've ever seen this little antenna on top of the mystery machine.
Yeah. Fred's uncle works in the CIA, it's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly how we get there, but then there's a scene where Scooby is in the villain's hideout because he's been kidnapped, and the main villain appears, who is wearing just like some like traditional Native American like festival costume, I guess. With
Some
like
sort of mask or whatnot.
yeah, with like the giant mask and the furs and everything. But you know, he's talking and he's clearly just like some white guy.
Yes.
So I have no fucking idea why this is the theme he's going with at all.
This is my favorite so far, I should say. This is my favorite monster introduction because he's not pretending to be the monster. He is talking to his henchmen. He's like, "Good, you got the dog. Open the crate. Fuck, this is the wrong dog. What are you doing?"
There's no mystery. You're right. Like
Exactly.
for the audience, we're not like, oh, maybe this is the first. It's real this time. Like the illusion is shattered instantly.
Yeah, you know this isn't a real like creature or monster or like ghost or whatever.
It's just some guy.
And Scooby straight up sees this guy.
Yeah.
Scooby's there.
The only mystery here is, like, why is this, like, New York mobster white guy dressing up as a Native American? Why?
Exactly.
Especially when his fucking... His whole thing is dog napping. That doesn't even have any... There's no connection.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But...
And also, they had to drive very far, so, you know, like, this is a very distant place, I guess. So, he tells them to get rid of him, and then it cuts back to the rest of the gang. And, Velma, or they ask Shaggy, like, "Hey, what's going on? What's happening?" He tells them that he saw Geronimo, or whatnot. Velma finds a tomahawk and immediately determines that it's over 1,000 years old.
Immediately, she's a professional in ancient Native American artifacts. Yes. This is at least 1,000 years old, guys.
I like that you instantly had the picture ready, Wally. Good form.
That bothered me.
Really?
That bothered me so
gosh.
much. I don't know why. It's not that bad, but just her specifying, guys, this is 1,000 years old.
Yeah, she doesn't have any equipment or anything. She just picked it up and looked at it. She's like, "Yup."
Just tell.
This is a relic. I know this. And then also Shaggy does not hesitate to make a scalping joke.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either, but I'm not surprised. Again, super fast episode. I'm sure he said it in like 1 second, and I didn't have time to process.
He says, I have it written down the exact quote here. He says, "When he waved that tomahawk, even my hair was scared."
Oh, no.
Oh.
Which is not, like, immediately recognizable, but yeah, that is pretty much a scalping joke.
Yeah.
No, I do remember hearing that. I didn't even process that's what that was.
Right.
It's also not the first one he makes. Or not the only one he makes. He does it later.
Oh.
The exact same joke. It's...
So,
yeah.
Alright. So, shit's about to get really real here.
So how did they get rid of Scooby?
Yeah, they've determined Scooby is not the champion. They need to get rid of him. So, they put him in a crate. They put that crate on one of those tiny little train pump things that you only see in cartoons. They push the crate and the pump down the train tracks by itself. So Scooby is just, like, eventually gonna get hit by a train. So, the gang drives the mystery machine after him, but they reach a bridge, so they can't keep going. So Fred slams on the brakes, Shaggy jumps off and lands on the pump thing, and he's gonna try and save Scooby. They're heading down the bridge. A train's coming. Shaggy has to stop the cart with his nothing but his bare strength and pump it by hand to escape an oncoming train to go the other way back. And this is the most action-packed scene we've seen in the show so far, and probably that we will see in a long time. They are in serious mortal peril.
Yeah, like everybody. They all almost died. Like, they almost
Yeah.
drove off a cliff, and then Shaggy and Scoob are gonna get flattened by a train.
Yeah.
So also wanted to note here, so Scooby is put in a box on this. I think the term that they use is hand car
Yeah.
for the pump, like the pump car or whatnot. So Scooby's in a box, and he uses one of his claws to cut through the wood, which I think is a trait point for Scooby. His claws are strong enough to cut through wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wild.
extremely sharp. And it was, like, effortless, too. He was like, oh, let me just go ahead and pop a dog-sized hole in this.
Exactly. Well, it wasn't dog's. It was enough for his head.
That's
so
true.
He
Yeah,
had his head sticking out.
Yeah.
I also have written here, Scoob's bite is stronger than Shaggy's arms. Because Shaggy has a little bit of trouble pulling on the brake until Scooby bites his ass and pulls. Just like chomps down on his ass.
I mean, Scooby's a Great Dane, and like dog bites are pretty serious, so I can believe that.
So Shaggy's got an infection on his hand later on, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Shaggy fucking outruns the train.
He does. Incredibly impressive.
Fred notices that, or he recalls that there was like what is it called? Like a train, just a point where you can change directions on a train. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But he pulls the lever, makes Shaggy and Scooby turn off, and then pulls it again so that the train continues forward. And Shaggy just stops on a dime. You know, going as fast as he can, stops on a dime. And they're like
he's
recovering.
Very powerful. In many
Exactly.
ways.
Oh yes, 100%. And so they're like recovering. You know, they're standing around, and I have an exact quote from Fred here. It says, "This is all very nice, but it doesn't solve the mystery." And he says that while Shaggy is just catching his breath. This man is like defeated, like hanging off the side of the hand car.
Shaggy is coming down off the craziest adrenaline high he's ever experienced in his life. Shaggy and Scooby are both thanking God above that they're not paced on the front of a freight train right now. And Fred's just like, but what about the mystery, guys?
Fred, zero empathy, all business.
Exactly. It's business in front, business in back.
Fred's just like, now that those goofy hijinks are over, let's get back to work.
Let's get back to the real fucking shit here, guys. And then Scooby also imitates a Native American.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, that's how he communicates to them the villain that he saw. He just does the chant, and everyone's like, I got it. Good. Of course.
He doesn't, like, you know, tell them that he knows that it's not a monster because it's got a fucking henchman and talks in a normal-ass fucking voice. But no. This dude, he's just like, yeah, a Native American.
And then they see the ghost again. The ghost on the horse.
Yeah.
And then Shaggy says, this is real, like in the movies.
Yeah.
That's a good line. Oh.
So real. Thank you, Shaggy.
And then the most frightening thing I've ever seen from a Scooby-Doo villain happens. He fires on them with deadly force.
Yes! He directly aims to kill.
He's trying to kill them on purpose.
It's also fun to note that they fucking ditched the mystery machine.
Oh, they did. They left it by the train. By the tracks.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, let's just keep this hand cart, this little fucking pump railroad or whatever. Let's not follow this with our car. With like expensive tech.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that shocking that he would shoot to kill, because he did just try to turn Scooby into mashed potatoes back there.
Right.
So this is definitely the most like, really threatening villain we've seen so far.
Yeah, I just don't have a lot of memory of, like, the Scooby-Doo villain, like, trying actively to commit homicide. You know, they're usually, like, they're doing stuff in the shadows. They're spooky. They're doing crime. Like, it's all crime. But I never see the villain hold a bow up to someone's forehead and be like, I'm killing this guy.
they're almost always just trying to scare through appearances alone and, like, no actual threat. But no, not this guy.
Yeah, this guy's willing to take it all the way.
For dogs.
For dogs!
He's willing to kill people so that he can steal dogs.
He just wants to...
He's a fucking Dognapper.
Yeah.
Of all the motives, this is the one that is driven to murder for his cause.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
So they determined that the arrow is mass-produced. It's not a real Native American arrow.
Yeah.
Which is very funny.
Fred looks at it, he says, "This is factory made." Which, like, again, how the fuck do you know that?
Well, I can understand that, like, because, like, a factory-made arrow is probably not wooden. It's probably, like, some sort of...
It's like carbon fiber or something, yeah.
Yeah, carbon fiber, yeah.
It would look, I guess, it would look different than a genuine, like, 1,000-year-old arrow, sure.
But the thing that I'm trying to get at here is they used a factory-made arrow, but they dropped a tomahawk.
It was 1,000 years.
It was 1,000 years old.
So there's, like, some degree of authenticity here.
Do you think this villain just, like, acquired, like, a small handful of genuine Native American artifacts? Like, he has, like, 3 real things, and then he's just like, I got my shtick, and then the rest of it he just had to buy.
He opened one of those, what is it, like, he opened a storage unit, and it just so happened to have 3 Native American, like, actual, like, artifacts.
Yes.
And he's like, alright, yeah, I gotta go with this. I got 3 of them. I got nothing else to go with.
That's my headcanon now. That's the only explanation we have so far for why he would dress up like this and go with this theme specifically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose to believe he just found a tomahawk and he's like, yep, this is my thing.
I'm gonna put on... I'm gonna paint my skin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on a mask. I'm gonna shake some maracas. We'll get to that. So I find it another thing that happens here. So they look in the direction the arrow came in, and Fred's like, "Look, that place looks deserted," and it's a Native American village carved into a mountainside.
Yeah.
No shit, it's deserted. What are you talking about, Fred? Who's gonna be living there?
Oh.
In fact, this might even be a national park. Who knows? Like, seriously. And then Shaggy makes the second scalping joke.
Did he say the same thing again, or...?
Essentially, he says, like, his hair is scared or something like that.
Okay.
And then Scooby says, "Me too." Or Riru, or whatever he says. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you remember how they get up there?
Yeah.
I sure fucking do. WALLY, go for it.
They build a medieval ballista out of a tree that they found that's way too small for that, and they tie a rope for it, and then they just coordinate. Where did they get these pieces from? Did they bring them? Were they around? But they build, like, the world's largest arrow that, like, it's like a spear, basically, that a person would throw in combat, and, like... They shoot it off of the world's smallest, like, stump of a tree sticking out of the ground. Like, it's 3 feet tall, but it carries it all the way to, like, the summit of the village. And now they can scale the rope that's tied to the javelin, essentially.
I shared a picture. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, that's so small.
Can you tell me why this wouldn't work?
Hold on. What's happening here? Wait,
I do also just
the
want
rubber thing to? Where does that go?
So that is attached to a tree on the other side.
Okay.
It's not pictured here.
Okay.
Can you describe what you're seeing?
Okay, so this is mechanically unsound. You've got a middle peg such that when you release the tension on your string here, it's just gonna slap the second thing, right?
Yeah. The arrow's propped up on a second, like, almost like a slingshot.
Yeah.
Like a slingshot handle.
Yeah.
But the string is attached to another slingshot handle.
Yeah.
So the string would just get caught on the second one that's
Yes.
holding the arrow up.
Yeah, this is not mechanically sound.
Also, like, Fred's pose in this picture. He's just like, this is it.
Here it is.
So
Here it is.
Just one other thing I want to note here. Again, because this episode is so fucking fast, it's worth noting that so we're talking about this giant slingshot with a giant arrow that they built somehow. But the shot immediately before this was Fred looking at the normal-sized arrow and saying it was factory made. And then they just, like, fade to this, and it happened so fast that for a second, my brain watching this episode was like, did they, like, make the arrow grow huge somehow? Because it really seems like the two arrows are supposed to be connected because they're the shot right after each other, and there's no explanation for where they got this giant arrow.
Yep.
But
It's
again,
just thematically correct.
yeah, it's just thematically correct, and it's just this episode has so much shit, they just have to go.
Also, looking at this picture, this arrow, which is constructed by them, it looks like it's constructed by them. Did they carve out an arrowhead for this?
They definitely did.
Yeah. This is like, they tied an arrowhead to this arrow.
This is handmade, like traditionally fashioned.
This arrowhead is like almost as big as someone's head.
This took them like at least 2 hours to put together.
They could have found an easier way to get up
They could
there.
have just climbed,
I guarantee
just normal.
So they had to find a rope.
Oh.
Wait, where did they find the rope?
Yeah.
They had it in the mystery machine, which they don't have right now. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, cool. Oh, they ditched the mystery. They went back. This is like 5 hours later.
I feel like rope
They're like,
is
should we call someone? No. Let's do something.
rope is like a bit more of like a common. It's like more of a commodity than a giant rubber slingshot material. That's the thing that's the greatest mystery to me out of all of this. Where did you get that? In such great quantity, in the middle of the desert, you have that?
Because they just had a giant rubber band in the back of the mist. I don't know.
I was gonna, I said this took them 2 hours, but I failed to consider gathering all the materials.
Yeah, like resources. Like, where did you get this?
This took them a day. This is a day later.
They drove back to town, went to the store, and were like, hey, yeah, don't make sure we don't see Charlie. We don't want him to ask any questions about, the fucking motor scooter or whatnot. We got shit to do, We don't want to deal
that
with that.
part of town.
Yeah, we're not calling the sheriff or any shit,
Oh man, I can never go back to that gas station again.
We assumed this was nighttime the same night. This is the next night.
Yeah.
This is a 48-hour mystery. They get up. They climb up. Fred pulls on the rope a few times. He's like, yeah, it's sturdy. Let's go. They get up there, and, like, Shaggy says, this line stuck with me.
Man, this is Spooksville, like Indian style.
I'm glad you remembered. Thank you.
Which is, it's also funny, because, like, it's not really, it's like a weird castle temple thing. It didn't
it's
really
not,
give
well, it's
me...
a village. It's like a village
Oh, okay,
carved out
they're
of
not
rock.
in the temple yet. Alright, I was confused. Never mind.
And they're just walking through, and they're like, whoa, we've never seen a Native American village before, I guess.
Yeah,
And then
that's true. There really wasn't anything spooky about it other than it was at night. I mean, again,
then-
I guess good on us for being not racist enough to not be intimidated by this, apparently. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. So, do you know the official name of the villain? The monster, quote unquote monster.
I
No.
don't, but I'm kind of scared to find out.
The official name of the monster is the Indian Witch Doctor.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I was like, oh, so they specify Indian Witch Doctor. Why not just call it the Witch Doctor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because it's an Indian one, clearly.
Yes, but also later in the season, there's the Tiki Witch Doctor.
Ah,
They have multiple witch doctors,
I see.
kind of like racially insensitive
Yeah.
witch
Different
doctors.
Different flavors of Scooby-Doo
Yes.
racism.
Exactly. 1969, racism.
Mm.
So they had to specify it's the Indian Witch Doctor. Because this is not the only witch doctor that exists.
Yeah.
But also, while I was looking up the Indian Witch Doctor, there's another witch doctor in, like, the third series of Scooby-Doo. Which is not it's not the next coming one, which is the movies, the new Scooby-Doo movies. But it's the Scooby-Doo show.
Mm.
It is called the Indian Witch Doctor. Oh, no, it's not the Indian. It's the Medicine Man Ghost.
Mm.
And looks almost exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Only his arms are very much white.
Oh, he's very similar.
He's very much a white man. Whereas in the Indian Witch Doctor here, this guy has painted his arms, a different color.
Mm-hmm.
He is brown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Not to spoil who it is at the end, but it is a white man.
I mean, we've known the whole time because we heard him talk, and he was obviously not a Native American.
Exactly. And Scooby, who sees this man show up in front of them, the Indian Witch Doctor, does not recognize him. Does not say, oh, hey, yeah, this is just a normal dude.
yeah.
This Indian Witch Doctor comes up with maracas. He's just shaking maracas. He's just like, hey, I have written here an actual quote. So he tells them to leave or suffer the fate of the Spanish conquistadors buried in the sands below.
Yeah.
And then he pieces out right in front of them. They do nothing.
Right. So he's
He
saying
he just leaves.
we've killed Spaniards, so too will we kill you.
Yeah. Except for the we is just him because he's the only one there.
Right, right.
I don't care how many giant slingshots you build, I can take you all with my hands tied behind my back.
Yeah.
But I cannot specify enough. He's there. It cuts to the gang. They say nothing. They're just looking. And then it cuts back to where he was and he's gone.
Yeah, he's disappeared.
They were
They're just-
petrified with fear. They were so terrified of his scary maracas.
I guess. And then bats.
Yeah, there were a lot of bats. So many bats. And they're all like red looking. They're very scary.
Blood bats.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, the gang gets swarmed by bats. While they're getting swarmed by bats, Velma drops her glasses and she says, "Oh, my glasses!" like 3 different times.
They keep on this shot for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I hate to keep going on rants like this. I did do a little bit of research for this bit
God,
here.
dude. How many hours do you spend doing homework for this show?
Too much and not enough.
Okay.
So, Shaggy dropped a line that says, if I ever get out of this, we're gonna name this dance the Bat Tusi.
Uh-huh.
First off, Shaggy, you're in a swarm of bats. Of course you're gonna get out of this. They're gonna leave. It's a swarm of bats. They're gonna go.
Yeah.
Second off, I was like, what the hell's the Bat Tusi? Like, what is that? So, the Batusi, in context, I was like, okay, so he's dancing, so it's got to be a dance. So, I looked up Batusi in a few different spellings. I first found Batusi, Batusi, and it says, that's a very good pose. I just posted the picture. It's very good. So the first thing I found on Wikipedia was Batusi is a 1960s style go-go dance invented for the Batman television series.
Oh.
The name is a pun. What's that?
Okay, that's just really interesting. I expected it to be a reference to a dance of the times, but the fact that it came from the Batman show. Okay.
So here's the thing, though. The name is a pun on the then popular dance, the Watusi.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think they were actually referencing the Batman show.
Yeah.
They were referencing the Watusi.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the brief explanation for Watusi on Wikipedia is: the Watusi is a solo dance that enjoyed brief popularity during the early 1960s. It was one of the popular dance crazes of the 1960s in the United States. Watusi is a former name for the Tutsi people of Africa, whose traditions included spectacular dances. The naming of the American dance may have been inspired, in particular, by a scene in the 1950s film King Solomon's Mines, which featured Tutsi dancers, or by its sequel, Watusi.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So it was a dance craze in the 1960s. Specifically a solo dance craze.
And potentially a racially insensitive dance craze.
Yeah, we're on a roll here.
Damn.
Oh.
This is the most action-packed and most racist episode possible.
So far.
So far.
So what happens next?
Fred and Daphne separate for 1 second. Wait a minute. Did I skip something? Oh,
Velma dropped her glasses.
Yeah, Velma's glasses land on Scooby. It's fine. Fred and Daphne separate for 1 second, and Daphne instantly gets pulled into a trap door. But she doesn't fall. Like, a bench she's sitting on just gets, like, sinks into the floor, and she doesn't react to this at all. She's just sitting there perfectly still the whole time it's happening.
She just accepted her fate.
She's
That's
just
what
like,
she is.
whatever. This is just what happens to me.
So slightly before this, though, because Velma lost her glasses.
Yeah.
Shaggy runs away.
Yeah.
Scooby also ran away. Scooby is wearing a Native American mask and like a cloak for no reason.
Yeah, he just kind of like tumbles into it, I guess. Like there's like an extra whole outfit.
Yeah, he's just wearing this outfit.
I think
usually
he did it
you
on purpose.
That would check out. He has done this in previous episodes.
This isn't the first time where Scooby, despite being cowardly, he'll just occasionally decide to fuck with his friends when they're in the middle of a very stressful situation. He does it a lot.
So this was something that I didn't realize the first time watching, but noticed the second time. So Scooby says, "Rye Raggy," and then Shaggy says, "Rye Ruby."
Wow,
that's cute.
He has officially made fun of his speech impediment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you could look at that either way.
Just throwing it back in his face.
Yeah.
That could be cute or very not cute.
So, and Shaggy realizes that it's Scooby, and is like, "Why do you have Velma's glasses?" And then finds Velma. Velma's feeling up a totem pole and thinks that it's Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah.
It's just wild that she can't tell that they're not made of wood.
Right. I was not able to suspend my disbelief in that moment. I was angry again. I'm like, it's wood. You can feel. She's rubbing it. She's, "Oh, hey, Shaggy," rubbing the wood. "Oh, hey, Scooby," patting the wood. I mean, you could tell. You would know. Come on.
Yeah.
So far, none of the Velma glasses moments have been slightly believable.
It's like she probably got a splinter on that, you know?
Yeah.
As somebody who does have terrible vision without glasses, like, it's... No, not even close.
You add in one of the other senses and it's donezo.
Yeah.
And so they give her back the glasses and she's like, wow, where did you find my glasses? And Shaggy says, it's a long story.
But it's not!
He just literally found it on Scooby. It's like, he could have just said that.
The longest thing about the story is Scooby is wearing Native American clothes for some fucking reason. That's the only long part.
Like 10 actual real life seconds have passed.
Yeah.
Like that is...
It's a long story.
She doesn't ask any other questions.
Yeah. I wonder if that's like a strategy of his, like moving forward. Like he just doesn't really want to talk about it. So just, it would take too long. Let's just keep going.
He just knows
any explanation for anything.
Anything at
he
all.
knows that Velma's gonna be an asshole and try to one up him somehow, so he just doesn't say anything to her.
That's funny.
There have been several moments, Wally, where somebody has made an obvious joke statement and Velma has reacted to it as if they were being serious.
Ooh.
And been like, actually, and it's just like, yeah, we weren't trying to say anything real, you dumbass.
Also, Shaggy wants to avoid speaking to her as much as possible. She's a little asshole.
He just secretly doesn't like Velma that much.
There has to be some of that within the group, right? Like within the gang, like so some people just like others a little more. You know, they have like preferences.
Oh, I mean, it's like Fred obviously doesn't like Shaggy. He constantly he doesn't split the group up the same way every time, but it is never Fred and Shaggy.
Too many men in that one group. People might assume the wrong things, you know.
Yeah.
Fred is fueled by toxic masculinity.
No, I don't believe that Fred and Shaggy are friends at all.
Yeah.
They're just there. Fred tolerates Shaggy. Shaggy's just along for the ride. Maybe Shaggy's just too useful to get rid of. Because he is the one that has the most, like, skill points on my list so far.
Okay.
Do you want to cover Shaggy's skill points? Just rapid fire them real quick.
Okay, yeah. Let me pull up. There it is. Okay, so Shaggy is the swingingest gymnast at school.
Okay.
He's got a ventriloquist act.
Yeah.
He has food blindness, which is something we determined. He cracks safes. He knows how to crack safes, and he makes convincing train noises.
Okay. These are some varied but useful skills.
Yeah. He is the most skilled person so far. Fred has an impeccable sense of direction.
Mm-hmm.
Scooby has sharp claws, apparently.
Yeah, extremely sharp.
Velma's just the smart one. Mm-hmm. I have written here Queen of actually. And Daphne's just good at finding the wrong door, and she's also referred to as danger-prone Daphne.
Okay.
So Shaggy, so far, is the most useful one in the group.
Yeah, wow.
Alright, so, long tangent there, but Daphne gets pulled into a trapdoor, and the rest of the gang goes wandering around looking for her and just looking for clues in general. Shaggy and Scooby find some modern food in, like, a basement. And Shaggy makes a super Shaggy sandwich once again, which, just as it was before, is just a giant stack of bread with miscellaneous lettuce slices in between it.
Yeah.
It's also, Shaggy is like, oh yes, we're eating Indian food. And then he starts listing everything it's laying around, and then he doesn't realize it's not Indian food until he lists pudding. It's like, oh, pudding, wait, that's not Indian food.
That was also on the way into that room was when Shaggy ran down the stairs at a forward 45-degree angle, like the most dangerous way to
just breakneck running.
It was a really shitty looking walk cycle too.
It's very funny.
And so while they're snooping around the kitchen, Scooby gets pushed into a secret passage and ends up in the same spot as Daphne and all of the captured dogs.
How does he get pushed?
I don't actually remember.
a hand opens a small hand-sized little trapdoor, and it just bonks the Scooby in the butt. He's, oh, get in there. And then it closes, and that's it.
Right. So what we're learning here is that this place just has trapdoors fucking everywhere.
Just everywhere.
Like, every single surface. It's like Aperture Science. Like, everything is just a panel with a robot arm behind it.
Yeah.
Well, either that or, like, this one guy dug out a hole behind this wall, removed this one stone so he could push. He knew that someone would be next to this sliding, like, this slide.
Right.
He would remove the door and just push him down.
Yeah.
Like, he has this one trap door for that.
Yeah.
Well.
And then cut to Fred. Fred has a hunch. Fred has a hunch there's a trap door behind this big fucking statue, and is right.
Because this place, like, there's just a trapdoor everywhere.
Yeah, you can point at anything and go, ooh, trap door behind that, and you're just correct.
If Fred touched any surface in this room the right way, he would have activated a trapdoor.
Now, what does Fred find behind the trapdoor,
It's
though?
Velma! Just sitting there.
Right.
Did we lose Velma?
We didn't see it happen on screen, but again, just this episode, just shit just happens, and again, we get further emphasis here that this place is just loaded with trapdoors. Velma fell into a different trapdoor and somehow ended up behind this trapdoor.
She specifically claims she doesn't know how she got there.
Velma, how did you get there? I don't know. I have no idea, man. I've just been in here for a little bit.
Just moving platforms, fucking whatever. It's ancient Native American shit.
She's not
or whatever.
even bothered by it either. She's not like, oh, Fred, you let me out. Oh, I was in the wall. It was so weird. She's just very casual. Like, yeah, this just happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it, like, literally just happened to her. Maybe she was only in there for, like, 5 seconds, and she's like, oh, okay, it's over.
I still feel like the act of being lowered into a wall, into, like, a crevasse, like, in the light fades, even if it's for moments, I'm like, oh, this is how I die. Got it. Like,
Especially when you're in, like, an ancient temple.
This is how I die. Huh?
I figured it out.
And so Scooby releases Daphne and the dogs, and basically the whole gang ends up reuniting with Fred by just wandering through secret passages.
I have written here, Shaggy's strong ass breaks a ladder.
Yes! Yes, it does.
Slide down a ladder.
Yeah, so the other dogs lead Scooby and everyone else out of the temple. And, they slide down a ladder to get out the window, and Shaggy's the last one to go, and he just destroys every rung on the way down.
And so that bothered me too. The ladder, they didn't put it there. There's no scene where they say, oh, we found a ladder, guys. We'll use this to get down.
Yeah, they used a grappling hook to get in.
Yeah, so the ladder was there the whole time?
Yeah.
They could have just not fashioned a 24-hour ballista fucking system and used their eyeballs and said, oh, hey, right over there, look, there's a ladder right there.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's an ancient Native American artifact, and Shaggy broke it with his axe.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I bet it was almost 1,000 years old.
At least
1,000 years old,
at it. Yeah.
It's also, all the dogs are weirdly realistic where Scooby is not.
What a strange contrast.
Also, none of the dogs that Scooby tried to fuck earlier in this episode looked real either, so...
Yeah. So they chase the Indian witch doctor. He climbs up a tree and Scooby just pulls the mask right off. Who is it? Who is it, Wally?
Oh, it's the guy from earlier. It's our main man. Whose name I've forgotten. Was it
Buck
Buck?
Masters.
Masters.
Yeah, it's Buck Masters all along. Oh.
His whole plan, what was it?
He wanted... Yeah, go ahead.
He wants to get rid of all the competition so that his dog can be the cool dog at the dog competition.
Exactly.
He was willing to kill for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He will murder so that his dog can artificially be the best one in town.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait, I just looked at my next note. What the fuck? The ghost, the Native American ghost on the horse was a projector in the back of his moving van.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Yes.
okay, whatever, that tech isn't real, but fine. Fucking cartoon.
They explained that to the sheriff.
Yes. How did it fire a real arrow?
Yeah.
I think he fired a real arrow from the Native American village.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought the arrow was fired by the ghost. Whatever. Fucking whatever. It's fine.
So,
Thus concludes the most action-packed and racist episode to date. Congratulations.
Oh.
Holy shit. It took so long to get through that, but also, like, totally understandable that it took so long to get through that, because it really was just, like, a new thing every, like, 5 seconds.
Right, we have 100 notes. Like, oh, I cannot believe this happened. 4 seconds later, I cannot believe this happened.
Right. Just, while we wait for Colin, what was the most, like, shocking thing to you here?
Alright, the most shocking thing to me.
Because there were several very startling moments.
I would say I was most shocked by the cart rolling out to the train. Just that was like in an episode of Scooby-Doo. As a kid,
Right.
I knew that they were never like always all perfectly safe, everything's fine. I knew there was like some degree of danger because they're chasing down criminals and they're in like spooky abandoned places. So like I knew that, but I don't ever remember there being a situation where I felt like the characters were in mortal peril. Like, one small mistake, those characters are dead. So that was pretty shocking to me. And like immediately after, to have the villain fire an arrow at them, like just straight up trying to murder one of the kids. I was like, what's going on here? The stakes are high on this one. Whew.
I don't know if I can honestly pick one, so I'm just gonna go through a couple. Starting off with Scooby during the day, very shocking.
It's like a liminal space, like you've never seen the universe, the Scooby-Doo zoned with daylight shone upon it.
Like, for such a, like, normal, innocent thing, it actually felt upsetting. It was really weird.
Yeah.
So that was shocking. There was the fact that the gang has a tracking device. Shocking. Shaggy running up to Charlie and just acting like he knows this guy that we've never seen, taking his scooter, and then we never see him again. Suddenly Native American ghost.
Yeah.
Like 6 minutes into the episode. Very startling. Immediately after that, Scooby and Shaggy are really gonna die by a train.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think the last huge thing for me was just when they just suddenly had the fucking catapult thing.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the most interesting and surprising episode I've seen thus far, for a wide variety of reasons.
Yeah.
So one last thing here I have. listed on this episode in general. So, when they're in the sheriff's office,
Mm-hmm.
it says Mesa County Sheriff.
Okay.
I looked up Mesa County. There's one Mesa County. It's in Colorado.
What? Where are they?
Did they go to Colorado?
Maybe.
Are there deserts like this in Colorado?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, Colorado. What's to the left? What's to the immediate west of Colorado? What's that
So
area?
immediately west is Utah, and then Nevada, then California.
Yeah, see, like
So
I
if
guess-
Coolsville is in Southern California, they drove through at least 2 states.
Wow. Yeah.
To get 3 then.
Wow. That's like 8 hours of driving.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just following this van.
Yeah.
This was an elaborate dog kidnapping operation.
Sure was. Jeez.
Way more elaborate than it needed to be, you might say.
Oh yes, 100%.
Alright. Are we good to move on to the next episode, or anybody got anything else?
Well, do we need to? Are we gonna rate our fear index?
Oh,
for the
Yeah,
guy.
oh yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Let's start with our guest here. Wally, do you have a
Okay.
a fear
So at the
rating?
beginning, when it's kind of revealed, oh, it's a regular man. It's just some guy. Like his name could be Greg, and he's just wearing this traditional Native American thing, and he's talking to another regular guy. My fear rating is 0. I'm like, that's just some guy.
Zero fear, just confusion.
Yeah, like. Like, I could probably win if that guy was, like, threatening me, like, oh, I'll get you. I'm just going to beat him to death. But then by the end, when he proves he will kill you, he will do it. He tried to. He's going to kill a kid. Fear index 100. He's a murderer.
100.
Yeah, he's going to kill you. Like...
We have a scale of 1 to 10, but
But you know, honestly, 100 is fitting for this guy.
All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a 10. It's the maximum amount this guy intends to end your life for his operation. That's a scary thing.
No, I'm going 100. I'm going. I'm going 100 for the train scene alone.
yeah, that's fair.
Because, like, if Shaggy were not a cartoon, he would have died. Like, that guaranteed death.
It's not guaranteed you wouldn't have a heart attack halfway through this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm a bit mixed here, because it definitely changes throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Because early on, it's like, there's no ghost or monster, it's a Dognapper.
Yeah.
So my fear, as a person, is 0.
Right.
Because, like, no one's going to kidnap me, right? Because I'm not a dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, as soon as someone shoots or if I see a ghost of a Native American, it's like, oh shit, okay, wow. That is pretty scary. But yeah, as soon as the arrow almost hits me, that's a 10.
Yeah.
But I think once I've climbed up the arrow that we fired, and there's just a guy with maracas,
it's waning back down again.
it's waiting.
That was his only arrow. You have nothing to fear.
Yeah, I see no weapons on him. I see nothing.
Yeah.
He presented himself.
Yeah.
Does it go down or up when he reveals his sheer unbelievable amount of trapdoors?
I think I'm concerned, but, like, it's not like, look, I'm more afraid of getting hit by an arrow than, like, a hand pushing me down a slide. Or, like, me, like, sliding down a bench. I think I'd become a 5 at that point. Like, I'm concerned. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in this weird, like, there's a lot of shit going on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that arrow is like, yeah, that almost killed me.
Yeah.
So it goes from a 0 to a 10 to a 5.
I kind of feel like the whole gang really, like, they didn't react very realistically to the fact that they were almost murdered. Like, they freaked out a little bit at the moment, like, wow, he shot an arrow, ah. But then afterwards, they're like, yeah, let's just go get him. Let's just get in there. Come on, guys, let's just go get, like, they didn't have to, like, huddle around and be like, all right, guys, look, it's getting crazy. It's getting kind of dangerous on this one. This guy is murderous. Like,
there was no time for that. they couldn't have possibly fit that in. Otherwise, they would have had to cut Charlie.
yeah.
Well, the arrow happens after Charlie. You said that.
No, that's just. I mean, they don't. There was no space in this episode for that conversation.
I thought you were saying
they
like,
would have had to cut.
We have to go get him, and then they spent 24 hours going collecting supplies.
No, the writers said. The writers said there's no time for them to have a realistic conversation about this because we need Charlie and 2 separate dogs that Scooby wants to fuck.
Yeah.
So they're willing to die for some dogs. Just like a couple dogs. Yeah. They're absolutely every member of the team is like, this is what's right. I'll die for this.
Well,
100%.
I mean, they know a sentient dog, so that probably changes their perspective on things.
That's true.
I also want to point out here, they blew the Scooby snack early on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Scooby snack was just to get Dognapper,
yeah.
Which is, like, still a serious thing.
Right.
Like, if someone were to give me money to get kidnapped intentionally, I would want a decent amount of money.
Uh-huh.
But they're just like, Scooby, come on, we're going into this spooky place. You're coming with us.
Okay.
And it's like, fine.
Yeah. That's so
like,
true.
And that happens after he gets an arrow shot at him.
Wow.
God,
so
you could make this episode, like, I mean, you couldn't because it would be racist, but just with the sheer amount of things, you could make this episode into a movie. Just this one episode.
Yeah.
This could have been a 44-minute, like, extended episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wild. Holy shit.
Okay.
So what was the definitive ratings here?
It's a 10 for me. Maximum score. I mean, are we still talking about the fear index or the
fear rating?
Yeah, it's a 10. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't rate the episodes.
Okay.
I think the fear rating is enough.
The fear rating, yeah.
I'm sticking with 100 because I this is the first time they've shown a situation that like I could actually see happening to me, and like I mean it would be really weird for me to end up at that spot, but I could potentially be hit by a train, and yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with my 0 to 10 to 5.
Yeah.
It's very, very situational.
Okay. Yeah. Let's try to go through this next one a little faster, just so that, you know, we're not doing this for like 3 whole hours.
Yeah. I have a lot less notes on this one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I think we should be able to without, like, rushing ourselves, because that last episode was insane.
Yes.
But, alright.
This one's also a little insane, but not quite as jam-packed.
Yeah. This one only has 1 crazy concept instead of mixing, like, 3. So this is episode 6, What the Hex is Going On? And we start off with a shot of a graveyard, and there's just like a normal guy in a business suit walking in the graveyard with zombie arms.
I have written here Sigmund Freud in the graveyard.
Yeah? Yeah.
It's just Sigmund Freud.
He's got the fruit look going on.
Yeah. There's a voice saying, "Come, come."
Yeah, like an eerie moaning, yeah.
Yeah.
Sigmund Freud would follow that. That was a joke about how he likes sex, and he thinks about sex all the time. Ha ha ha! Okay.
Yeah.
The gang is driving to the Weatherby estate. Which I guess
Sharon.
are people they know. They don't really specify, but that's the way they talk about it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna swim and play tennis.
Yeah. So, Daphne says, there's so many groovy things to do.
Yeah.
But then you, like, look at the surrounding area, and it's like a haunted forest, almost.
Just a bleak, desolate swamp, yeah.
Yeah. So many groovy things. Like swimming and eating, and tennis and eating, and Shaggy is talking about eating, of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then he makes his first real fucking sandwich.
He doesn't even get to eat it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like
our boy finally graduates beyond just lettuce, and he has
puts a
a
meat-
couple hamburger buns with several hamburgers, lettuce, and a little bit of cheese.
It's also to be noted that our good friend and mascot Maddie is used 3 times in 3 seconds here.
Oh, yeah. Wally, we call the mustard noise Maddie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll play it here in post. There it is.
Oh, yeah, what a wonderful, awful sound effect.
They see him go into the mansion.
Yeah, they see Freud
They're
walking in.
They actively see him, and someone says like, "Oh, kooky." Like they say it's a like this guy's going. This is kooky. This thing he's doing.
Yeah.
Why is this kooky man going to this kooky mansion? Fucking what? It's a dude going into an old house. Shut up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So inside they meet the Weatherbees, which appears like there's a younger girl named Sharon, and I'm guessing her dad. I don't know if they really specify.
I think they do.
Okay.
I think it is her dad.
So those are the Weatherbees. It's Sharon and Dad, and they tell the gang that Uncle Stewart has gone missing, and he was the zombie guy. So the gang goes out to find him, and they discover that he has become old.
He's just a real old man.
Yeah.
Just sitting in the Kingston mansion.
And they
As
all
they claim.
like gather right around him. They like get it's you. There you are. What has occurred? What happened to you? I don't know. I'm old now.
Yeah.
Well, no, he
said-
knows. He tells them. He tells them the
Yeah.
story.
He said he had to obey the kooky voice.
Yeah.
It told him to come. They use kooky a lot in this beginning part.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like, what other time would you ever hear the word kooky?
And so we see, as he's telling the story, we see visuals of what happened to him and where the voice led him. And it leads him to Wally's favorite guy.
The blue guy. Like
The
this guy
blue
is
guy.
he's burnt into the back of my brain as being like one of the earliest instances of like an icon of fear. Like it's just been like knocking around in the back of my head. Just like one of the first times that like a piece of media ever made me experience fear was like they show this guy and I'm like, oh, people aren't supposed to be blue. Oh, and like I was so young, and yeah, he was just in there. Yeah.
No, I'm laughing, but I totally understand.
Oh, yeah.
I know we haven't like talked that much, Wally, but like a lot of my friends know this about me. I was like such a pussy as a kid. I was scared of literally everything. There was an episode of The Wiggles where for a brief segment, do you know what The Wiggles is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the like preschool Disney shit. There was a very brief segment where a magician turns the Wiggles into rabbits.
Yes.
And that scared me as a kid because I was like, "Oh my god, that can happen? People can turn me. I don't want to be a rabbit. Oh my god, no!
Yeah.
Are the Wiggles gonna be okay?" And like, I haven't been able to re-find that, but I guarantee that was just like a really cute thing about like, oh, it's a magic trick, but that like scared the shit out of me. I had nightmares.
It's like a primal survival response. Like I don't think that we're wrong, to like feel this way. That just means that like our brain is like it's trying to keep us alive. Like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. Oh.
Well, and especially when you're like this is how I've thought about it, because like people have pointed out how weird it is. Like there's so many examples like that for me.
Yeah.
And my thought process is like, okay, I was a child. I like didn't understand like how the world worked yet. So like I didn't have reason to believe that couldn't happen, you
Right.
know?
Right.
Yeah. Also, I was raised very Christian, so I was taught that, like, angels and demons and shit were real, and so it's like, is it really that much of a stretch
Yeah,
to
so why
say
not
that
this?
people can turn into bunnies? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how awful.
Think we'll run into any angels and demons in Scooby-Doo?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Be pretty good.
I watched Midnight Mass recently, and that's like my favorite horror thing now. I want a Scooby-Doo episode that gets as dark as that. Like the priest turns the entire town into like a cult of demon worshippers but still thinks he's acting in the hands of God. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Anyway, the
Pretty
blue
sure
guy.
So, here's a fun note. Not to get sidetracked again. Here's a fun note about the blue guy. The blue guy is in the intro.
He is.
He's in the song.
Yeah.
But he's not blue.
Interesting.
Oh, that's right. Isn't he like green?
He's glowing like yellow.
Oh.
Or yellow or green, but he's glowing.
Interesting.
That's
So
interesting.
it's a bit different. Yeah.
I wondered what happened to make him change him to be blue.
Yeah, we had this discussion before, but like, you know, was that scene created before they created the episode, or, you know, and then the episode was made around that scene, or whatnot, or...
Interesting.
Well, even then, like, coloring an entire, like, cell like that, you'd have to recolor it at that time, right?
Yeah.
Because they're painted.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Somebody somewhere decided, no, that needs to be blue. Maybe they thought it would be... maybe they wanted the WALLY response. Maybe they didn't think yellow was a scary enough, unnatural enough color.
Yeah.
So, just a regular blue guy in a trench coat.
Yeah. And the blue guy is the ghost of Elias. And he Gaussian blurs Sigmund Freud to make him old.
And his neck just juts out. It's like the most stereotypical old man, like, neck.
Yeah.
It's very good.
So, they go... back in the present, the dad, Mr. Weatherby, tries to call the sheriff. Well, he says he tries, but he holds the phone to his ear for like 1 second, and then he's like, "It's been cut."
The shortest period of time.
It's like, it's dead. The phone's dead. Huh.
Yep, that's definitely cut. Yep. Don't ask why I know that instantly.
Yeah.
So they basically are like, "Hey, we'll keep a lookout while you, Father Weatherby, go to town to get the sheriff." So he goes to get the sheriff, and not to jump ahead or anything, but that sheriff doesn't get there for a long time.
That's
true. Yeah.
A very long time.
Yeah.
Enough time that they are able to go into town and come back.
Yeah.
And also the dad comes back without the sheriff.
Oh my fucking goodness, I didn't even connect that.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Huh.
The dad's shifty, man.
Something's up with the dad. Mr. Weatherby, what is your deal?
Yeah.
He instantly knew that the phones were cut without actually checking. And then he says he's gonna go get the sheriff, and he doesn't actually get the sheriff. He's doing some shit.
Is he in on this?
I don't know. I guess that's part of the mystery.
Like, whoa, that's another mystery.
Okay, so, Dad leaves. Uncle Stuart once again falls into a hypnotic trance from the ghost of Elias, but this time Sharon also gets pulled into it.
Well, it's, like, he gets pulled in, Shaggy, or Scooby is on guard duty. To, like, make sure, just to see what's going on while everyone fucks off and goes to sleep or whatever. Scooby knows how to play the trumpet.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
Plays the trumpet to wake everyone up. I don't think we see Sharon leave, but she's just gone.
Yeah, she's just gone.
They say that she left or something. Yeah. Or I think one of the gang members says that they saw her walking as if she was in a trance. Yeah.
She's gone.
So they have to go to the old mansion to try and find Sharon and Stuart once again.
The Kingston Manor or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. And so they're sneaking in there. Shaggy has roller skates because he thinks that will help him avoid the ghost.
It's very good that Velma doesn't realize that he has roller skates on until, like, they're already looking around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's fucking gliding behind her. She's like, what's that on your feet? What could he think, Velma?
What could it possibly be?
Smart one.
Well, actually, Velma.
Just turns the tides on her. Also,
Scooby wanders into a kitchen and finds just a big ass bone in the fridge.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was in the fridge, but then a bulldog shows up and tries to take it from him. And chase scene ensues as the bulldog bites the bone in half.
Oh, he shatters
it
into bits. It becomes molecules.
Oh, it crumbles. Yeah. It fucking crumbles under that jaw.
Reduced to mere atoms.
Exactly. That's a strong bulldog.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. I also vaguely remember Shaggy, like, looking into a pot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he verbally says, "Can ghosts hide in pots?" I guess not. But also a ghost hid in a pot in, like, 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. Shaggy forgot. It's fine.
Well, I guess Shaggy wasn't there, but it's very funny. We still have this pot motif going.
Well, also, in between that time, even if Shaggy had been aware of that, he experienced the nightmare that was the last episode, and he's just forgotten everything that happened before that point.
That's true. So, I think Shaggy and the dog, like, crash into a shower.
Yeah. Several times, Shaggy crashes into the shower, and he says, "Wow, how soggy can a guy get?"
That was when the blue guy sneaks up behind Shaggy, and he had infinite time to do whatever he wanted. He could have done anything. But he takes one of those, like, accordion fire-stoking tools.
Oh, yeah!
And he just goes, whoop, psh, and he just blows Shaggy to provide speed for his roller skates, and he just goes shooting down a hallway.
Just fires air right up his asshole.
He really does! Yeah, he really does. Oh. When I first saw it, I was like, is he going to inflate Shaggy?
Oh, no!
Not entirely out of the question.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that's really interesting about Scooby-Doo is that, like, it's somewhat grounded in reality and then occasionally gets extremely cartoony when they feel like it.
Yeah.
And it always feels really weird whenever they get, like, mega cartoony.
Yeah.
But it does happen. So
he and the dog get wet.
yeah, they get wet.
Get real soggy. And then the dog just disappears.
Yeah. And the gang regroups. And, they're still looking for Uncle Stuart. And Shaggy says something like, "I think I found him!" And he points to a chair with a rotting skeleton wearing Uncle Stuart's clothes. And Fred says, "Wow." Which I just really liked that.
Golly.
I liked, just seeing one of the most horrific images in this show so far, and Fred's like, "Whoa!"
Jeepers. I completely forgot about that. That's great.
That was one of my favorite bits.
It's just so Uncle Stuart's fucking dead.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
he's been aged till nothing but bones, and the ghost joins them here.
Yeah, he just walks up and puts his hand on Shaggy's shoulder.
Yes. Not the last time
like...
he'll do that.
Yeah.
This ghost likes touching Shaggy.
It's very weird. But it's very funny that, like, this ghost is just, like... He's within swinging distance.
Yeah.
He gets right up on him.
Yeah. What a brazen maneuver to run up there and just say, I'll give him a little spook. I'll give him a little touch the shoulder. Shaggy could have had a primal fear, rage instinct moment and absolutely obliterated this man.
Yeah, but also, as I recall, good old cowardly Shaggy doesn't really seem that upset by this. He's just like, he's there.
Oh, there he is.
Like, I feel like even, I don't think I'm as much of a scaredy cat as Shaggy is nowadays, but, like, even if anybody just touched me on the shoulder when I wasn't expecting it, especially in a haunted house, I'd be like, oh, shit!
Shaggy's just suddenly has a set of balls there, you know?
It kind of makes sense. The last episode, a guy tried to kill him. Like, they all faced certain death a couple times. This time, maybe they're just like, this isn't real. This is just some guy. So they're like, they see a dead body, they're like, oh, wow. Huh, neat. And, like, they're fine. They're vibing.
It's strange. The stakes here are almost the opposite of the previous episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, so many times they're within swinging distance, and this guy is like, he says some stuff and then fucks off.
Yeah.
But in the previous one, it was like, oh shit, someone's taking pot shots at me.
Right.
Oh shit, a train's almost hitting me.
Right.
There's, like, no threat here. There's no weapon. There's no, like, extreme danger. You see one guy get old twice.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
If you believe that it's actually happening, I would say this is pretty terrifying,
Sure.
You did see a guy rapidly age and then become a fucking skeleton within a matter of hours. That's pretty unsettling.
Also, it's very funny that, like, this ghost told the previous bulldog, to, like, sick him.
Yeah.
Like, this ghost needs a dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm afraid of a ghost that needs a dog.
But you would probably be afraid of the dog.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yes. If it's a guard dog, yes.
So
what's the ghost say?
He says the Weatherbees will grow old if they don't give him the family fortune, and then, as you said, he just kind of fucks off. He just walks away.
He walks away normally. They animated him turning around like, well, I guess I'm going this way. It's not, like, abrupt. He doesn't, like, opacity fade away in, like, a cool way. He just kind of turns around and starts walking casually.
Yeah, and the gang just silently watches him go.
They're very good at that.
Yeah.
Just we question their, like, competence. I think, actually, their competence has been questioned a lot,
Literally,
but,
honestly, like, all of them were there. Every single one of them. The ghost just touched Shaggy, so they confirmed that he can be touched like a normal person. They could have, like, made a move to tackle him right there.
Yeah.
Like they did in the Hassle of the Castle.
Yeah. But whatever. They watch him go. I don't know exactly what happens next, but my next note here is just a quote that says, okay, Shaggy, use Velma's fingerprinting kit to dust for prints.
Yes! So they determined that they had to go to the mausoleum.
Mm-hmm.
The Kingston Mausoleum. And just to check it out or whatever.
So, I guess Velma owns the fingerprinting kit, but Shaggy is the one who has the skill points to know how to use a fingerprinting kit.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yes.
Yeah, Velma's
Shaggy,
like, oh, I
use
couldn't
Velma's
possibly.
shit.
Here, Shaggy.
Velma is standing right behind him.
Yeah.
I think he jokingly dusts Velma's hand or something. He's like, oh yeah, there's fingerprints here, yeah.
Yeah, so not only is he stealing her thing, he's gonna be a dick about it.
And then He dusts for fingerprints on the door handle, and it's like, yep, there's fingerprints here.
So
Yep.
were they,
No shit.
So were they hoping to prove
It's a doorknob.
that the ghost is real? Like you have to have if you have fingerprints, you're just you're a person.
I guess.
Was that their goal?
I think they weren't like getting specific fingerprints. That never comes up.
Yeah, no, they don't match them. Like, oh, we have one from this cup, and oh, same one. They just check. Oh yeah, somebody's touched this before.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh no.
So that was a confusing
Whatever.
little moment there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're about to enter this crypt, and they're gonna make Scooby do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so how many snacks is offered, Colin?
Not one. Not two. Not three. 4 Scooby snacks are offered to Scooby to enter this crypt.
Wow.
That's a record breaker, folks.
Wow.
That is a record breaker. Not only a record breaker, but it's a record-breaking steal from Shaggy. Shaggy steals these 4 Scooby snacks.
Yes. And then...
And Scooby gets none.
Yes. And then Shaggy has my favorite moment in this whole episode.
Yes.
Shaggy says, sometimes I'll do anything for a Scooby snack. Even though we just confirmed that he had his first one episode ago.
Yeah.
It left an imprint on his brain. He's like, fuck, I gotta get that. I gotta get that again.
Shaggy has become addicted in like no time at all. Now he loves Scooby snacks more than Scooby does already.
So that means that Shaggy has eaten a total of 5 Scooby snacks.
Yes.
Which is more than half of what Scooby has in the past, 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's catching up.
Yeah, he is like beelining it. He's trying to beat him. I'm actually curious to see who eats more at the end of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I thought at first, like, oh, for sure, it's Scooby. It's gotta be Scooby. But no, once Shaggy gets a taste, like,
It's all
you can't
over.
stop. You can't have just one.
Shaggy's downward spiral has begun.
So what key thing do they find in the mausoleum?
They find a book. I can't remember what it is, but it's like, ooh, it's spooky, like magic book. We found it.
It's Crystalmancy.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
It's like, oh, Crystalmancy. Wild.
Yeah, that has like no bearing on what we've seen so far, right? That's not like a reveal like, oh, that makes the earlier scene make sense. That's just
Not at all.
Just, oh, this is new information.
I don't.
Exactly, yeah.
Does it make anything in the future make sense?
Kinda.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay. All right. I guess I don't know what Crystalmancy is.
It's like crystal balls and like future prediction and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Do they get locked inside the mausoleum? I can't remember why they try to find a different way out.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. The blue guy shows up, locks the door, and then they go, "Oh no, we're trapped. We got to get out of here. Everybody search for a trap door."
Okay.
And then they spin around for like 5 minutes in a trapdoor.
For like way too long. That was the scene where like to activate it, you like knock on it or do like a hand gesture against the wall, and without pausing, they just do that as many times and as fast as they possibly can, and they just spin around like a lot.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it was
There was
really
no-
fucking funny.
Yeah. There's no pause. It's not like, whoa, that was weird. Oh, is everybody together? They just went like, ah! And they just started spinning and knocking until they all got thrown somewhere.
Fred just wouldn't stop knocking.
We're going down together,
Do you
gang.
think Fred knew that he was causing it? He's just like, oh, this will be fun. It's like the tilt-a-whirl. Whee!
Yeah, here we go.
I'm gonna say 100% yes. That was Fred. He knew what he was doing. And so, like, they get on the other side. They're like all crumpled in a pile or some shit. And then it cuts to them in the mystery machine, and Velma's like, wow, it's wild that led to a secret passage to the Weatherby estate.
Yeah. But
fucking wild.
But now they're driving into town.
Where are they going?
To the Swami's place. I assume Swami is fortune teller. I've never heard that term before.
This is one that I meant to look up but forgot to.
Okay. Whatever. Fortune teller. It's a fortune teller. I guess, are they just going there because they found the book on crystalmancy?
Yeah, I think so. I think they happen to know that in town there's like a mystical shaman person, and that's their only lead. Is like, that guy probably knows about crystalmancy.
Okay. I think when I was watching the episode, I didn't actually know why they came here. I was like, okay, we're here now.
That was the connection they made. So they drove into town before the sheriff could make it back to the, estate.
Mm.
The fucking sheriff.
Yeah.
That, hours ago the dad went to go get in town. Anyways.
He's a busy man. He's got a lot of people to shoot.
Yeah, that's fair. Can't blame him. They go to the Swami's place and, Daphne goes, what's in this? Or what's this place? And then, the door says storage, and she opens it. And they're just like, oh, it's the storage, no! And just a bunch of shit falls out onto Scooby. It's like, Daphne. I guess Daphne does pick the wrong doors.
Yeah.
Even when they're clearly labeled as to what they are.
Exactly. So then Scooby's dressed as the Swami.
Mm-hmm.
And a lady walks in to get her Swami reading. It's gonna suck when we find out that Swami's like a slur or something.
Oh no! You can't say that. Yeah, we're just very confidently throwing it around. Oh no!
Hang on, I'm gonna look it up right now. We're gonna find out that we need to censor for the first time ever. I guess I should have just Googled, is Swami offensive? I'll do that instead.
It says a Hindu, ascetic, or religious teacher.
Okay.
So it's probably just a very, it's probably a misuse of the word.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But not I don't think it's slang.
Okay.
It's a religious. It's a Hindu religious teacher.
Okay.
So this is a fortune teller. They very much have fucked up the definition because why would they, be correct in 1969 about this sort of thing?
Probably not offensive on a serious level. Sorry if anyone is offended. You can explain to me why, and I will not do it again. But for now,
they call it a Swami.
They call it a Swami. It seems okay. Fucking whatever. 3 white guys. So the lady came in to get her fortune read. Scooby's dressed up in the gear. And so the gang decides the natural thing to do here is to have Shaggy use his ventriloquism bit to make it seem like Scooby is talking and reading her fortune.
Shaggy uses his skill again.
Yeah.
It's wild that it actually pops up.
I swear...
It wasn't a one-off.
I think the ventriloquism thing is a somewhat common thing in these early episodes. I think there might be at least one other instance where it's used.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay. Hell yeah.
It's one of Shaggy's favorite skills.
I love that the whole gang is in for the bit. They're already this is what we have to do. Yeah, let's do it. Scoob, you gotta be the Swami. When she walks in, there's no stakes. There's no there's no bad outcome if they're just oh hey ma'am, we're looking for the Swami too. He doesn't seem to be in, and she'd go, oh okay, I'll come back. But instead they're everybody, we gotta trick her, we gotta do it.
Yeah.
That didn't even occur to me. I was just I just went along with it. I was like, oh yeah, this is what they gotta do.
Nothing bad will happen.
If anything, she's gonna call the cops on you. Like, why have you replaced this man?
Right, yeah, you're increasing
could've
the
explained
stakes.
it.
Yeah.
I like to imagine Velma or somebody was like, guys, we could just tell her, and then Shaggy's just like, you gotta like commit to the bit, man.
Yes. Yes.
So there's a bunch of funny gags. Scooby and Shaggy pretend to be a fortune teller.
She has her palm red.
Yeah, she wants her palm red, so Scooby paints it red, and then she gets mad and leaves, which is that's appropriate. I think that's about what I would do.
And Shaggy gets upset that she didn't pay him.
Oh, maybe that's why they all committed to the bit. They're like, oh, we can get some money off this sucker. She already believes in... This dumbass already believes in fortune telling. She probably believes a dog's a fortune teller. She'll pay for that shit.
Holy shit, yeah. So something wild happens.
Mm-hmm.
The ghost shows up on the crystal ball.
Yeah. So their hunch was right. This is connected, apparently.
Yeah, wait. I just realized there's no fucking reason why this needs to be connected.
No.
In the end.
No. None at all. He went through so much effort. So much effort to think, oh, what if somebody finds that book? I'll go ahead and booby trap the crystal table.
Was he the Swami?
The whole time? He would have had to have been, right?
Yeah, to set this up. Oh my gosh.
Is that like his career?
This goes deep.
Has he just like been doing this for like a long time? He is a Swami?
He's been playing the long con.
Oh my god.
How, being a fortune teller and also tricking people into thinking he's a ghost that makes them old? Do you think he's been doing both of these gigs the whole time?
I don't think.
Well, I think that
but
the ghost thing came later.
Yeah, but he's definitely built a career as a Swami. It implies, I think.
He owns a business.
He has.
Yeah, that's under his name.
Yes. Wow. Maybe that's why he has to steal the family fortune, is because he doesn't make any money as a Swami.
He's got one customer,
it's just
and they
the
just
lady.
got rid of him.
Yeah.
That's why he only showed up once they scared her off. He's like, fuck, that was my only source of income. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he appears on the crystal ball, like, scaring them, and then the whole table starts floating and chasing him around.
So we do find out, what the guy looks like at the end. So that just means that you can mentally picture. We've seen the outfit. Scoob is wearing the Swami outfit. You just picture that guy in the Swami outfit. That's his day job. That's his.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
it's like a turban and
now that
cloak
we've
and stuff.
made this connection, I'm starting to think Swami might actually be offensive because that dude is clearly not Hindu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all of the bad guys in Scooby-Doo are just white guys.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna have to keep track and see if we see anyone of color.
Yeah.
In any of these episodes.
Okay. So as the ghost is chasing them around, Velma says, "I've heard of flying saucers, but this is silly." And then right after that, I don't think it's supposed to be in response to it, but right after that, the ghost laughs maniacally, and it really feels like he just thought, I've heard of flying saucers, but this is silly. It really feels like he just thought that was the best thing he'd ever heard. He's just
broke character for a minute.
I'm gonna have to write that down.
Yeah, and so the way that they're being chased around, it's not the whole ghost. He hasn't appeared as himself. He's the table. He's in the crystal ball, and it's the table that's
Yes,
flying
the table
around,
is chasing them.
and they're going, oh no, a table, and they're running.
They constantly have to duck because it's floating.
Yeah. Yep.
But eventually, the table crashes. Like, they get away from it, and it crashes, and they discover it was powered by a very small fan. That I don't think could lift that table, but that's fine.
A tiny fan and a little battery pack there.
Yeah. And it
Like,
has
not even enough batteries to run, like, an RC car.
but it's got like advanced drone technology. It can.
Yes. But also, they just so happen to find, like, a what they say is a miniature video camera. A miniature film camera.
Yeah.
Miniature for 1969.
Yeah. That thing is huge.
Yeah.
But it's, like, sitting there, and they demonstrate it by pointing it at Scooby, and he shows up in the crystal ball.
Yeah.
Which implies that the ghost had to be in, like, the same room filming himself if he left the camera right there.
6 feet away in the closet. They can hear him laughing.
He's still giggling about Velma's hilarious joke. He just can't. He's trying to be quiet, but he can't stop thinking about it. He's just like, flying saucer.
Is there someone in that closet? I know we're being chased, but is there someone giggling? Would it be great if, like, the whole mystery just ended right there?
And also, yeah, the crystal ball was somehow wirelessly linked to the camera.
Oh yeah.
And was acting as a monitor.
Yeah.
Which even, in the 2020s here, that is like some weird, like, that's expensive.
Yeah.
In general.
Today it's possible, but, like, definitely a highly specific technology setup. Back then, I don't think that's possible.
It's the tech setup that would cost the Weatherby's fortune to,
Yeah.
to get.
That's
going.
why he wants it.
It's to pay off his debt.
He makes horrible financial decisions.
That's the ghost issue. That's the whole reason why he wants the money.
He just sunk way too much into this weird camera setup that he thought would be a really good idea, but it's not turning a profit for him at all.
I put all my finances in this fortune teller shop that only caters to one person in town. Why?
Why?
Why did I do this?
And now the ghost touches Shaggy's shoulder for a second time.
Yes. Doesn't happen often, but it's weird that it happened a second time.
I think, does he just chase them around a while there? I don't remember.
Oh, I actually cannot remember. This is where my notes kind of get very sparse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't rewatch the last half of this, so it's all in the wind.
Well, somehow they give the ghost a treasure chest that is also a giant Jack-in-the-Box.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they go back to the Kingston Manor
Okay.
to trick the ghost because they have a plan.
Okay.
And that's when they give him the Jack-in-the-Box.
Yeah, the Jack-in-the-Box. They also run behind a curtain where there just is an anvil.
Yeah.
And then he, instead of following them behind the curtain, he just punches, and he punches the anvil.
Yeah, their plan is they're going to instigate him. He's going to get so mad that he's going to have to punch them. That's their plan.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah,
They did
that
it.
man, that ghost has broken his hand. Like, he goes full force into an anvil. Even if he just, like, punched the wall, it would have hurt. But no, they had to fuck this guy up.
Yeah. Yep.
They had to teach him a lesson. They weren't going to throw a punch at him,
He had to do it to himself.
but they were going to make sure he was going to hurt himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a lifelong injury too. That's not like you'll recover. He's shattered like every bone in his hand.
And assuming he's right-handed, that's his predominant hand.
Oh no! Oh.
He's not writing.
Oh.
And then they proceed to fuck with him further.
Yeah. So it turns out the video camera they found can just play holograms of any size, anywhere, pretty much. So they just play a whole bunch of different holograms to fuck with the ghost. I don't remember
He thinks it's haunted.
all of the ones they do, but I do they make like Scooby giant at some point or
big
something?
Scoob.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make him think there's a giant Scooby, and that's pretty scary.
Oh, also, before this, I'm remembering now, the girl that went missing, Sharon, she just appeared. Did they ever?
Yeah.
That was actually my next note. Is as they're fucking with him with the holograms, Fred says, "We got him, Sharon." Even though Sharon is not on screen, and they never found Sharon.
Yeah, she was like in the wall, like behind like a secret statue or something like that, like tied up to a chair.
Bookcase.
Yeah, and so she's just here now.
She's just here now. I'm pretty sure they didn't even show her being here, but according to what Fred just said, she is here now.
I think she does pop up, at least in an ongoing scene.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if she is there when he says that.
So,
but she is definitely there after that.
At some point, Sharon was captured. They never found her, but now she's here. So good for her. She made it out by herself, I guess.
Yeah. She's competent.
Yeah.
So they have like a projection of Shaggy run by. The ghost chases Shaggy, and then multiple they point the camera at the ghost so that there's multiple of him there.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him decide that this place is actually fucking haunted. It's like, oh shit, it's me 4 times.
Oh.
I modeled my fake ghost costume after what real ghosts definitely look like. There's 4 of me. That means there's real ghosts.
Also, at the fortune teller place, they found professional grade makeup kit. Forgot to mention that. That was kind of...
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
Kind of important, I guess.
Yep.
But then they just throw a net on him.
Yeah, so their plan is they're going to scare him so much that he thinks that he's been participating in something that's based in reality. Like, this is haunted. Ghosts are real. You were right. Like, this is not something you fabricated. Watch out.
And now you will become old.
Yes.
And then a net.
And they throw a net on him, yeah. So.
And then they just throw a net.
So,
all the scaring really wasn't necessary, huh? They were just fucking with him. All they had to do was throw a net on him.
Anytime they could have just walked up and, tied his shoes together or some shit.
Does it ever become a crime for you, even if you're pursuing this is a criminal, we're trying to solve some mystery here, at some point you cross a line where you're doing a crime too, where you're causing undue harm to this person when you could have just neutralized them easily, you could have just hey everybody, get him, we got him, but instead,
especially when you're not cops, cops get to bend a lot of rules that normal people don't, but these guys don't even have that certification.
Yeah, not at all.
That's great. They're just fucking with people.
Yeah.
It's great to know that they can just fuck with any ghost they want and get away with it.
Yeah, they're just taking it a little too far.
They broke this man's hand.
No, we didn't break his hand. He broke his own hand.
They manipulated him into breaking his own hand.
And then a net. They could have started with the net, honestly.
Yeah.
They could have shown him the chest.
They could have tackled him 15 minutes ago. They didn't.
They could have tackled him when he first showed up.
That's what I mean, yeah.
I imagine that they explain everything that happened to the sheriff, and the sheriff's just like, well, kids, that's kind of weird, but that you did all that stuff, but you got him. That's kind of cool. Why'd you guys do all that stuff?
That was an extremely roundabout path.
This was all unnecessary.
I don't think you needed to leave this property at all. Why did you do that?
I could have been here a lot earlier.
So They capture the ghost. It was Uncle Stuart all along. He just used a lot of makeup to make himself look like a ghost.
Well,
and
he's not
look
Bones at
old.
all.
Himself.
Yeah,
It's Mr. Freud, Mr. Stewart.
yeah.
Uncle.
And you know,
Which-
of course, he used his did he wait? Actually, did he use his projector at any point on the property?
I don't.
Well, here's the thing. He never used it as a projector.
Right.
He only used it for the crystal ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
They used it as a projector.
So that was not. That wasn't.
They were
That
the only thing they had to explain was the fact that he made himself look old with makeup.
Yeah. The projector was not linked to the main mystery at all. That only happened because they went to a place they didn't need to go.
Yeah.
Um.
And they brought their own projector.
Yeah, they certainly did. During the reveal, when they're wiping the makeup off of his face, it's revealed that he was wearing glasses the whole time.
Yes.
They were just like cleverly disguised in makeup. So he like painted them blue, I guess.
He's just wearing them.
He coated on so much makeup that he completely covered his glasses and made it look like it was flesh on top of his glasses.
Yeah.
That's fucked. That's weird.
It is
Why'd you
weird.
do that, Uncle Stuart?
It's weird.
Why did?
What?
Go on.
I mean, it's weird, but also, like, he's a very skilled makeup artist to be able to pull that off, because I'm pretty sure that's just not even possible.
Yeah.
Do you think he was a skilled makeup artist because he was disguising himself as a Swami?
Ooh. So
Do
Oh.
you think he was actually?
Oh! Oh no!
so he was doing like racist makeup the whole
Yes.
time, and he would do that every day for his day job. Oh,
Shit.
Based his whole business.
Oh no.
He gave himself the wrong name for a fortune teller.
Okay. I think the true intention here was just that he just had it because he was the ghost and like he just left his stuff lying around his business. But that is definitely my headcanon now.
Yes.
Oh no.
He was doing a racial stereotype.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder if he had a voice and everything. Oh no.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah, probably.
100%. It's canon
Yeah.
in our heads.
Yeah.
If they had found like beard dye there, it would have been 100% confirmed for me that that's what he was doing. Like, Jesus Christ, Uncle Stuart,
Wow.
you piece of shit.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And
So
so
it comes to the point.
yeah, go ahead.
It comes to the point where, they're explaining the whole shtick, and they're like, "Oh, my brother, me, Mr. Weatherby, the father, who's here now again without the sheriff.
Mm.
My brother, why did you do this?"
No. He doesn't ask. Sharon asks
Oh, that's
Uncle
right.
Stuart, "Why did you do this?" And then before before Stuart can say anything, the dad butts in and says, "Well, I'm sure he can explain it all to the sheriff when he's in jail. No need to cover it here." And
That's
once again, Dad is shifty as fuck.
Yeah. That is some unusual behavior. No. Don't say it out loud. Like he's
He's either
involved.
in on this or he's doing something worse.
Yeah, there's like
That's
some
somehow
dirt
related.
that the uncle has on Dad. Dad
Yeah.
has something dark in his history.
So Uncle Stuart says nothing in this scene.
Yeah.
He just sits there looking sad.
Oh.
It's like, I got caught. I got
Oh.
captured. There's
I believe
some
this is
weird
the
family
second
dynamic.
time that they've caught a villain and the villain has just not said anything.
Yeah.
I think you're right. No, yeah, you are right, because Captain Cutler said nothing when he got
Yeah.
caught.
You assholes aren't cops. I don't have to talk to you. I don't gotta say shit.
I gotta say, I don't think anyone has said the famous phrase, "and I would have gotten away with it too,
Ooh. Yeah.
if it weren't for you meddling kids."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's happened at all yet.
I'm interested to see what episode that is the first in.
Interesting.
It's all just been the villains explaining their shenanigans or like saying nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that mystery solved. The mystery of the blue guy.
This one, by the way,
the possibly racist blue guy.
the definitely racist blue guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This one, by the way, I remember when we watched the episode, I called the villain like within the first 5 seconds. I was like, "Oh, it's that guy. It's just that guy." You can't explain someone's unusual fake zombie behavior other than they're at least heavily involved. You know?
Uh-huh.
It was that guy.
Oh yeah. So, we gotta get the fear rating out of the way here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with you, Wally.
All right. So the last episode, of course, it was like a roller coaster where I was like, oh, it's 0 at the beginning. Not afraid of that guy. His name's Greg. And then like, oh, he's gonna kill somebody. Oh my god, this is awful. I'm scared of that guy. He'll kill me. This one was 0 flatline. Never ever did it peak, which is so strange because I mentioned when I was a kid, I was like, oh no, this is the worst. But like as an adult. He just walks up and just touches you on the shoulder and says, "Hey, you got the fortune? Go get it." And then he turns around casually and just walks away. Like that's his thing. He does that. I'm not afraid of that guy. 0 flatline.
0.
Nothing.
Damn. All right.
I honestly think I'm with you.
That's so funny that the guy that you described as your first icon of fear is now
really,
0.
I've really, I've overcome it. I'm past it now. I've grown.
I'm proud of you. You're a big boy now.
Yeah.
So you guys are both going 0?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think maybe like I might bump it up to a 2 because of the dog.
He has a
the
scary
dog. Definitely, he does have a dog that could definitely kill me.
Yeah.
Or like at least like hurt me a lot. No, I'm keeping it a 0 because the dog like gets into the shower and it's done for. So no 0.
Yeah.
It's gone. It disappears after the shower.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 5 because the dog is threatening. Like that's a real threat. Like that would be scary on like a basic level. The old person thing, I think, like the making you old is unsettling. Like I don't. It's not like full terror because I think like I would naturally suspect like okay, there's got to be some trick to this. But before I figured that out, I would definitely be at least a little bit unsettled if like the makeup was convincing enough for me to think that something was going on. And then like especially like finding the skeleton with the guy's clothes. Again, I don't think I would jump straight to, oh, this is definitely real, but I would still be like creeped out. Like, okay, wow, that's a lot.
They never examined that skeleton. You know, like we never got like, oh, this is factory made. Like, was that a real skeleton? Like, either way, like
no, all we got was wow.
Wow.
I like to imagine Velma walks up and she's like, "This is a relic, 1,000 years old."
Skeleton is at least 1,000 years old.
They aged him fast. Holy shit.
So. You know, I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna say like a. I think I should go lower than 5, maybe like 3, because at no point do I think I would be like scared for my life or fully convinced that a supernatural thing was really happening.
Mm-hmm.
But like I there's still enough here that I would be like unsettled.
Yeah,
I get you. So like. With the whole getting old thing, we never see it actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it always happens, like, in explanation. Also, we've never seen Uncle Stuart before he is old.
No, I
So
mean, they saw him. They saw him outside.
They saw him from like a distance, though. Like was it good enough to really tell the difference?
I guess. Well, I mean,
guess they would.
they're friends with the Weatherbees though, and the Weatherbees like
Sure,
reacted like pretty genuinely.
Yeah,
So I feel like that would be enough to freak you out at least a little bit.
that's fair.
Yeah. Again, like this is not the scariest thing, and like I imagine even if I was in their shoes, I would be able to keep a rational enough head to be like, okay, this has to be makeup or something. But
At the very
as
least,
it was initially happening, I would be creeped out at the very least.
Sure. At the very least, the moment that he appears as a guy and he just taps you on the shoulder, you just clobber him. You say, "Get him, gang!" And you just absolutely kick his ribs in.
Jump him. He's done. He's down. He's out for the count. You solve the mystery.
Immediately.
Yeah. He's an old man.
Yeah. Start bending his fingers back. Oh, it's me, Stuart! Oh, please!
Drop an anvil on his hand.
They always take it a little too far.
Yeah.
I will say though, I'm gonna give the dad a fear rating of like 6.
I'm very suspicious of him. Very suspicious.
Because again, I don't think he's gonna kill me or anything, but the second that he just immediately brushes off and tries to stop us from learning the motives here,
Yeah.
then like I become way more scared of him than Uncle Stuart. I'm like, what? I thought you were on our side. What? Okay.
Yeah.
What are you hiding, bro?
I completely get that.
Yep.
He's also very rich, which I do fully believe that anyone rich enough could kill me and get away with it. So, I don't trust those
100%.
fuckers.
Yeah. So, after watching these 2 episodes, which one was the better villain?
Oh, man. They're both kind of awful, but like
Yes.
the first one, he like went all the way in. You know, he got actual Native American artifacts through some means. He has
Sort of.
those. He even
Some of them, at least.
yeah, some of them. He set his home base up in like an ancient native town, you know, like
Yeah.
it's like he really leaned in to this persona more so than like, oh, we've got an old mansion, I guess I've got some face paint, like,
Yeah.
Down the road.
and he
I don't know why he picked that persona, but to his credit, he leaned into it hard.
hard all the
Yeah.
way. He's all in. So it's him. Yeah, he's the better villain, I think. His persona was just, he went all the way. He went nuts with it.
I think I would agree, both because of that and also because, like, he was ready to kill. He was ready to kill for those dogs.
He's ready to kill so that his dog
little
could
contest.
get like a nice ribbon. Yeah, your dog is the best dog in the building. There are no other dogs here. Yours is the nicest one.
Holy shit.
He'll kill
is
for
the-
that.
Did it.
He is the first and possibly only Scooby villain who is fully committed to intentional murder.
What do you think the prize was for the dog contest?
It's.
Do you think he would have offset the funds that he spent to like
I don't think that.
kidnap?
I don't think he's in it
these dogs?
for the money at all. I think he wants the ribbon. He wants the prize. I have a prize dog. Look at my special dog. He just wants the clout, the status. He wants to say that he has it. That's it.
Also, do you think, because he kidnaps the dogs, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he planned on returning them? They were alive.
They were alive, so he
If you
he
were
didn't.
trying to like eliminate the competition.
Right.
Would he have killed the dogs? He was willing to kill a man.
Yeah.
He was willing to kill a man, and he did try to kill Scooby. So
Yeah.
he is willing to kill dogs.
Interesting.
I don't think it lines up that he kept them alive.
Yeah, you're right. That's unusual.
It's out of character.
What does it do for him?
Well, he had to do something with his trapdoors, because he put a lot of work into those trapdoors. He had to hide
He wanted
somebody in
someone
the
to find it.
He
trapdoor
wanted
dungeon.
to make use of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he wanted someone to find it at least. That's why like the van it was a very easy to follow van, you know?
Yeah.
So you spend that much effort into a surprise, you might as well have someone see the surprise.
Well, alright, gang. We got anything else, or did we do it?
I think we made it.
Hell yeah, we did it.
To the end here.
I think this might be our longest episode yet, and it's entirely because of fucking the Dognapper episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The Decoy for Dognapper. Thank you, Decoy for Dognapper.
Yeah.
Also, our most racist episode so far.
Yeah.
Couple milestones.
Let's see. Yeah. Woo! Woo! We'll have to see how long it holds the title. Thank you, WALLY, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much I enjoyed watching original Scooby-Doo episodes. Boy, they were a real good time.
And then talking about them for 2.5 fucking hours.
Passionately, yeah.
Is there any place we can find you, or anything you wanna plug or talk about, or
God,
draw attention to?
Oh God, I
kind of just drop this on you.
Yeah, I didn't plan for this at all. Let's see. If you like game development, I have a Twitter, and it's my name, Walter Pease, Pease. And you can find stuff on there. That's it. That's the only place that you can find me on the internet.
All right.
Nice. We also have a Twitter for the podcast. It is at Jinkies Junkies on Twitter. That's where you can find us in general.
What a good name.
Yeah. We also have an email. I can't remember the name of the email. Maybe I'll add this in post. But, I don't know. Send questions, I guess. That's what podcasts do. It's your fan mail or whatever.
Yeah.
You want to send a question to us? Sure.
Tell us which villain you were the most scared of.
Yeah, there we go.
If you pick Minor 49er, I'm gonna drop kick you.
Sam will find you.
I'm gonna hunt you down and drop kick you.
I still think Minor 49er is the least scary.
Well, but you did also rate Blue Guy 0.
They're kind of... they're on the same level. They're on the same... Like, the Blue Guy at least had, like, a floating table with the crystal ball, which was something kind of mystical.
They both
Minor
are
49er
mostly just guys walking around.
Yeah. I guess the ghost was more in swinging distance than Minor 49er was. I don't know. I still say Minor 49er is the worst. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Actually, Sam, anything you want to plug?
At the Alien Banana on Twitter for me.
Yeah, you can find me at RoboNorm on Twitter. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Well, gang, looks like we solved another mystery.
Hey, we did it.
Ruby Roo.
Ruby Roo.